Mrs. Sebastian, I have 6 o'clock.
Welcome to the February 26, 2026 Parma City School District Board of Education regular meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Present.
Ms. Kerpick, Mrs. McTaggart,
Present.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Present.
Mr. Reyes.
Present.
Before we start, I'd like to read a statement. I want to begin by addressing what occurred at our last board meeting. First, I want to be clear that advocacy is not the problem. I have dedicated my life to advocacy, and I will always support families, students, and community members exercising their right to speak. Public participation is an essential part of our democratic process, and every voice deserves the opportunity to be heard. However, advocacy must be rooted in respect, kindness, and safety, because those are the values we are responsible for modeling for not only our students, but our community. What occurred at our last meeting crossed that line. The disruption was not simply passionate engagement. It escalated into behavior that prevented this board from completing its work and created an environment that was unsafe and unacceptable. Incidents extended beyond the meeting itself, including individuals being followed home, to their vehicles, and law enforcement needing to be involved. That is not advocacy. That is not respectful engagement. Because of what occurred, critical agenda items impacting real people, including matters tied to livelihoods and the operations of this district, were left unfinished. That cannot happen again. As a result, steps have been put in place to ensure the safety of everyone present and to allow this board to fulfill its responsibilities moving forward. Additionally, we will be strictly adhering to our established public comment procedures and expectations for decorum. These procedures exist to ensure that all voices can be heard while maintaining a safe and respectful environment. Anyone who does not follow these procedures or who engages in behavior that disrupts the meeting or compromises safety will be asked to leave immediately. There will be no warnings. We welcome participation. We welcome differing viewpoints, but we will not allow chaos, intimidation, or behavior that prevents this board from doing the work our community elected us to do. Our responsibility is to our students, our staff, and the future of this district. We will move forward together with professionalism, respect, and focus. Thank you. Before we move into the agenda, I want to thank everyone for the time and preparation that goes into reviewing our materials in advance. The agenda and supporting documentation were distributed earlier this week via email to support thoughtful discussion and effective decision-making as a board. Adequate review helps us work efficiently together and ensures we're prepared for any action item that we will be voting on this evening. This aligns with Board Policy 0123, which reflects our shared commitment to being informed on the issues before us. With that in mind, can we please confirm that all members have received and reviewed the materials for tonight's meeting? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
I have a statement with that. I have reviewed as much as I could. A 59-page contract was challenging with only 48 hours and not having any knowledge of a new union prior to that. So I have reviewed as much as I could, but it was very difficult to do so.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yeah, I also had the same problem as Ms. McTaggart. I work a lot, have 3 small children, so 48 hours was a little tight for me to try to review everything, but I did try to look as much as possible. So
Thank you. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-78, approval of board meeting agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-78. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-02-50 has been approved. Oh, did I say the wrong one? Oh, 7, I'm sorry. Can I see that? I'm sorry. Resolution 2026-02-78 has been approved. My apologies. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-79, approval of the written record of proceedings from the February 18th, 2026 Special Board of Education meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-79. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
I do. This approval of, I'm sorry, it's the next one. So no questions or comments for me. Thank you.
Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-02-79 has been approved. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-80, approval of the written record of proceedings from the February 12th, 2026 regular Board of Education meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-80. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
I do. As we discussed in February 18th's meeting, the minutes do not properly reflect why we went into executive session. So we asked that they be adjusted. They were not adjusted. They still do not depict the reason.
So the motion at the last meeting was to postpone. There was not a motion to change the minutes, amend the minutes. It was just a postponement.
I understand that. I think that through learning, we discussed, though, also that the minutes didn't properly reflect that. That was stated specifically, that in the meeting minutes, the reason we went into executive session was not stated on there. It's still not on there. It should be stated in the minutes.
Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, so I do believe at the last meeting that we had a quick discussion about it as a board and also with Mr. Nucio that we were going to make those adjustments.
Like what Mrs. Sebastian said, we did have a discussion prior to the vote, but the motion was to postpone it to the next meeting. There was not anything in the motion directing me to change the minutes.
There was, because we stated specifically what was wrong with the minutes and why we didn't approve them, because they didn't accurately reflect why we went into executive session.
The discussion prior to was about the minutes not being what would like to see, but the motion itself was simply to postpone it to the next meeting. The motion was not to amend and postpone, it was to postpone it to the meeting. And that's what was approved, was to postpone it to the next meeting.
Mrs. Kerpick,
Oh, thank you.
or Ms. Kerpick? That's okay.
Mr. Nucio, I have a question here. If we don't approve the minutes, are there any kind of like repercussions that could possibly come with that if they're not approved today?
There are. So the Ohio Opens Meeting Act says you have to approve it at the next meeting. And if we don't approve it, someone could challenge us in court, file civil lawsuits saying that we're not abiding by the Open Meetings Act and invalidate anything that took place at the February 12th meeting, any resolution. Of course, we only got to business and curriculum. We did not get to finance, policy, and HR. But one of the big things we did have at that meeting was the 8th grade Greenbrier students going to Washington in May. I think there's 130 or 131 of those kids. And that could be invalidated if this resolution's not passed.
Mr.
Okay,
Nucio, I apologize.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I understand that we had discussion about changing the minutes, but I also understand that that wasn't a part of the motion to direct you to do so. So, I mean, I would like to vote on the minutes as is and going forward, make sure that they are more reflective and, more detailed on what we did do. But I would hate to not vote on them and to see any of those repercussions come to us. Thank you.
Mr. Nucio, you brought up ORC 121.22, and also in that ORC, it does state that the motion must state the motion going into executive session. You must also state the specific statutory purpose for going into executive session. And so the reason we went into executive session, the audio recording is out there. So the reason we went into executive session was to discuss Robert's Rules of Order. And so when we asked you to change the minutes to meet that, is there a reason that I understand the motion, but we also left the meeting with an understanding that the minutes would be changed, and now the response is different. Is there a reason that you changed your mind and decided not to properly reflect why we went into executive session?
Can I clarify, Ms. McTaggart? And we keep saying this. I just want to be clear, and you can ask that question, but that was not the motion. The motion was not to amend, so he did not change his mind. The motion was to postpone, so we're having that discussion now.
I agree with that. However, I think that we do rely on Mr. Nucio to help guide us through Robert's Rules. And so you had asked a question in regards to Robert's Rules, and I think that if I made that mistake, I apologize. Good learning experience for me, so I appreciate that. However, you did agree that the meeting minutes would be changed. So I think that through
not
trust and
accurate.
transparency, the minutes should reflect the reason we went into executive session. And if you all don't agree with that, then I guess, but according to ORC, it should be reflective in the meeting minutes.
Thank you, Ms. McTaggart. Once again, I'm going to clarify. There was not a change. The motion was to postpone. There was no motion to amend the minutes. So I want to be clear on that again. I just want to read a statement. According to, we're talking about ORC 121.22. So while I understand that minutes should and historically have provided a specific reason for which the board entered executive session under RC 121.22G, I am not in favor of amending the minutes to state the reason for which we entered executive session on February 12th because, as we must unfortunately acknowledge, it was not a proper reason under the law. I am concerned that amending the minutes to state an improper reason would convey that the board did believe the reason was proper then and maintains that it is proper now. I would like to share that I do not believe former President Early understood that her stated reason was improper, nor do I believe that any of us board members intended to knowingly enter executive session for an improper reason. On the contrary, I believe the emotional escalation of the meeting and the desire to de-escalate the meeting and more promptly address the concerns of the community members present at the meeting caused the unfortunate violation to occur. I would like to reassure the community that regardless of the outcome on the vote on this issue, the board understands the requirements of Ohio Revised Code 121.22G and will comply fully going forward. I would also like to reassure the community that the only action that resulted from the executive session was the amendment of the agenda that eliminated a second executive session and moved public comments to an earlier position on the agenda, a vote which was properly taken in open session. All other actions taken by the board during the February 12th meeting were in accordance with Ohio's Open Meetings Act and board bylaws. For these reasons, I will not be voting in favor of amending minutes.
I appreciate that. That was a very nicely prepared statement, and
It was prepared. Thank you.
yes, no, it was a very nicely prepared statement. And it seems as though you guys had already agreed that the meeting minutes would not be amended, and,
Can you clarify who is you guys?
oh, I apologize, Mrs. Sebastian, you and Mr. Nucio, since you had the prepared statement, and you must have,
Are you implying something?
well, you have a nicely prepared statement.
Yeah, I'm
and
asking
so
you, so what is your
I-
point?
I'm getting to my point,
Okay.
if I could finish.
Yeah.
I think that the meeting minutes, I heard what you said, and I certainly wouldn't hold Dr. Early accountable to making a mistake, because we all make them. However, although it was a mistake, you just stated that the reason you're leaving them out of the meeting minutes was that there was a mistake and we can't enter into executive session for that reason. That's not a reason to not have that reason put in the minutes, or executive session put into the meeting minutes.
Point of clarity again.
Sure.
So I didn't speak for us. I said, while I understand, and this was a prepared statement, you're absolutely right. But to imply that this was something that I was working with outside of the board is inaccurate.
We had
Absolutely.
agreed.
Can I finish? You asked for the same
There
respect.
was I'm sorry, there was a
There-
moment of,
well, no,
there was a
I
free
was
moment,
still
so I
trying to
apologize.
talk.
Okay.
So yes, and I think the most important thing here is that I'm saying that I'm not in agreement. We haven't even taken a vote, and nobody's called a motion either. I was just being transparent with the community and saying we own that, and we own that as a board. Because
So
we
it
all
should
agreed to
reflect
go
in the
into
meeting
executive
minutes.
session. I'm not in favor of changing the minutes, no. So, any other discussion?
No, just as long as that's all on record.
Ms. Sebastian?
Yeah.
Thank you. So not only did it not have the reason we enter into executive session, it was also missing a couple other items, the time we took a recess, the time we reconvened from recess, the time we entered into executive session, and the motion and the second and the result of that vote for the executive session was also missing. I felt like at the last meeting, we all had the same understanding that this was going to be added to the agenda. I don't understand what, since our last conversation as a board, where that went away. But I'd like to understand what happened.
If I may,
Yeah.
Mrs. Sebastian. My understanding was also that it would be added to the agenda, and it is added to the agenda. I know we had discussion about changing the minutes, but I left there with the understanding that the minutes would not be changed because the motion did not say that the minutes would be changed. So I know that was a conversation, but I wasn't expecting different minutes. I was just expecting to take the vote today on the same minutes. So I just wanted to share my understanding here that it would be on the agenda, and as I see it, is on the agenda.
Mr. Nucio, too, after having this conversation today and the discussion, would this not serve as new record and new minutes based, highlighting the discussions we had today, right? So this would create more of that record. Is that correct?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
So what I'm trying to say is, we already voted on the February 18th, we're voting on the February 12th. So I guess what I'm saying is, so the discussion today is going to be highlighted in the minutes, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so the acknowledgement of the inaccuracies would now be reflected in new minutes, correct?
That's correct.
Are those new minutes going to be taken accurately?
Well, can I?
In defense of the
I
record
don't understand
taking,
what the problem is here.
that last meeting
very
was,
simple. It's crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Sure, go ahead.
that last meeting on the 12th was chaotic, and there was all kinds of motions, and it's very confusing, and people were yelling, and it was pretty crazy, and we tried to turn it around in a short period of time, and it was tough, and if there were inaccuracies, we'll try to improve it for the next time we do the minutes. It's just, it was a crazy meeting, and if we everyone makes mistakes. If we make mistakes, we'll try to correct them in the future.
Absolutely. Everybody makes mistakes, and you had an opportunity to correct that mistake, and you chose not to.
Ms. Sebastian, I just want to
Yes.
say one thing before we vote, just for the record. All 5 members voted that evening yes to go into executive session. I yield the floor. Thank you.
And one more comment. So, as far as the accuracy of minutes too, the minutes are not a verbatim reflection of our meetings. And we also have our records of, we also have audio that also highlights those. So, I would agree. I think moving forward, we can try to do better. But I also think that we owned that fact that two things, that we are going to try to do better moving forward, and that also we acknowledged the executive session as well. So,
I have one last statement.
and then we'll be wrapping this up.
And I understand that the minutes cannot reflect every detail of discussion. However, under ORC 121.22, it should reflect the reason for going into executive session. That is one thing that should be reflected in the meeting minutes. So,
And we agree with that. I think we all
but
just
it's
said
not
that.
reflected, and there's an opportunity to correct it. But I hear what you're saying. It's reflected now. So, thank you.
Ms. Sebastian,
Yes.
I
And then
could just-
this is the last, because we need to move forward.
thank you.
Yeah.
If I could, so just for clarity, I'm trying to understand why we don't want to make the change. Is it because of, I'm just trying to understand. I'm having a hard time understanding it.
So are you asking me specifically?
Whoever's in charge of the meeting minutes.
Mr. Nucio, do you want to, I think he was directing that towards you.
I think we stated everything already. I mean, I don't have any further comment on this.
I'm just trying to understand why we don't want to make the correct adjustment.
Mr. Reyes, I think we have said that we do not believe that there is a reason to do that. We have owned what has happened, and we said we're going to do better moving forward. And if you want to postpone it again, we also know that there will be repercussions for that to children. So, I mean, we need to move forward. So either you're going to make a motion or we are going to call for the vote.
I'll make a motion to adjust the minutes.
Second.
For clarity, I'm sorry,
Yep,
Selby.
yep.
For clarity, what exactly do you want the minutes to say?
The reason we went into executive session.
Could I add on top of that, Ms. McTaggart?
Yes, sir.
So the meeting minutes are missing the following items: the time we took recess, the time we reconvened from recess, the time we entered into executive session, the motion, the second, and the vote for the executive session.
Ms. Singh, may you weigh in?
If it's helpful, and I wasn't here at the last meeting, so I don't want to speak to what happened.
Oh, he's going to get you a microphone.
Oh.
Thank you.
My mom
Yes. Ms. Singh, could you just give a brief introduction of who you are really quick so the public knows?
Thank you, Board Member Sebastian, members of the board. My name is Emmy Singh. I am with Peppel and Wagner. We are board counsel. I was asked to be here today just to observe for purposes of parliamentary procedure, Robert's rules, and just to ensure that things move along procedurally, and to provide counsel as requested by the board on those procedural issues. If I may, to the issue at hand, as you know, there was a resolution to approve, I believe it was February 12th board minutes. What I would recommend is if those board minutes do not reflect the language that the board wishes to approve, the procedure I would recommend is for a board member to offer an amendment with the language that reflects the changes that are desired. That can be done, you know, my understanding is it was postponed last week, so that could have been submitted, you know, in writing to Mr. Nuccio, or again presented today through an amendment to say, you know, this is what the language should state. And then the board would proceed to take a vote on the amendment. If that amendment was approved, then the board would vote on the minutes as reflected by that amendment. If the amendment fails, then the board would still vote on the, I guess, original minutes as presented. Does that help?
It does. So Mr. Reyes was going to move forward with a motion, I believe. So
I moved
What-
forward with the motion, and he seconded
okay.
it.
Well, we didn't get that far yet. I mean, we were asking specifics about the motion, correct?
Yeah, so if, it sounds like a motion to amend the minutes was made by Board Member McTaggart.
Okay.
Mr. Reyes, or you offered the second, correct? What should have occurred is, Ms. McTaggart, with your motion to amend, you would offer the language that you would wish to amend.
That's stated specifically in Robert's rules? Or is that your recommendation?
The amendment? Well, yeah, I mean,
I
What
just
is the
clarified,
amendment?
I think, so I'd like to move forward with the motion because that's Robert's rules. And then we just clarified what we would like to have amended. The reason for going into executive session, which we all left the last meeting and agreed on that. And so now I just made a motion. Mr. Reyes seconded it. And Mr. Nuccio asked for clarification, and I gave that clarification.
what I think, board members, is that the language should be offered so the board knows exactly what they're voting on. I understand that there's a desire to say, or to add, why why the board went into executive session, but I'm referring to the statement of, this is the language that will now go into the minutes, and that is what is being proposed, so the members know what they're voting on specifically.
We're voting specifically to amend the meeting minutes so that it states the reason we went into executive session, which was for Robert's Rules of Order.
If that's the amendment as offered, and if there is a second, then the board can proceed to vote on that amendment. And then if that carries, you would then vote on the minutes as amended. And if that amendment does not carry, then the board can proceed to vote on the original minutes as proposed.
We have a motion and a second.
Yeah, but I need the language again to repeat it, so to be able to,
Yes, do you,
I was looking at you rolling your eyes, so I'm
That's-
asking for clarification. I'm asking for
Please
clarification.
don't bully me in a public
I'm
meeting.
asking for clarification.
I was
That
very
was
clear.
I'm waiting for you.
Please do not try to bully me
I'm
in
not
a
bullying
public
you.
meeting.
I'm presiding over a meeting.
I think
There's
that
a difference.
We have a motion and a second. I think that it's time to move on.
No, it's not time to move on because I need clarification of the motion in seconds
What
so I
aren't
can
you clear on?
restate
Because
it.
I just clarified. So the motion I made was to amend the
Then we're not going
minutes.
to move forward.
Because you said so?
Because I'm asking you to restate the motion so
I
I
was
can
just doing
clarify
that.
it.
I was just doing that, and then you're exercising power that the president does not have. I made a motion.
Ms. McTaggart, let's
Mr.
move forward.
Miss-
Thank you.
Mr. Reyes made a second. If you'd like to hear again, the very
That's what I'm
simple
asking for.
amendment, okay, very simple, okay? I made a motion to amend the meeting minutes to reflect the reason we went into executive session, which was Robert's Rules of Order, or to discuss Robert's Rules of Order. That is it.
I have a motion and a second. Would that be to amend the meeting minutes to reflect going into executive session to discuss Robert's Rules of Order? Is that correct?
Correct. And then if there's any additional discussion, that would occur prior to the vote, or you can move to the vote.
I would like to just say one thing, because, so I don't know who agreed for the attorney to be here. I do think that it is helpful. However, there was one.
Point of order. Point of order. This is not the discussion. The discussion is, do we have any more comments about your motion and Mr. Reyes' second? On the
There's an
motion?
attorney weighing in.
This is not,
That's-
this was
so
explained to
who's
you.
part of
This
the-
is, I would say, point of
It was
order once
explained-
again.
You didn't, so the board did not act as a body. Mrs. Sebastian, you acted alone
This
in
is
asking
inaccurate
the attorney.
information. This
Then
is
who-
inaccurate information.
Then who
And I call
agreed?
point of order, and we are moving forward.
When
You will
the
be out of
attorney is
order.
here.
You will be out
No,
of order.
I am not, because
You
the
are out of
attorney is,
order.
no, I am not. That is inaccurate. The
Can we
attorney
have-
is here, and she's engaging in
You
discussion.
clearly do not want to work together as a board
That's
and
not the
follow the
truth.
rules while I'm asking you.
That's not
And I am
clear.
telling you right now.
You made a
You are out of
decision.
order.
I am not out of
This
order.
this is not what
The
we're
attorney is
discussing.
here and engaging in discussion.
Well, we'll just have to stop the meeting or we can adjourn, and then we can also
This is
not,
Mrs. Sebastian's
we can
meeting.
continue to keep pushing these items away, and these are items that affect students. So
You're right.
every time that we do
Procedures
this,
are important.
you're not even,
ORC
you will
is
just continue
important.
to talk over
Policy
me.
is important.
This is, could you please weigh in?
Why are we having her weigh in for,
On parliamentary procedure. I've called point of order. She's not listening. This has nothing to do with the motion and the second. So-
Excuse me, if I may. What would I need to say to request to call the roll right now and end discussion? Do I just request to call the roll?
Yes,
A point of order, which would then
which I tried,
move
Sorry.
the
and
meeting.
not listening.
Correct.
So, roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
we're voting to amend the minutes?
Correct.
To properly, okay,
I already
yes.
stated that.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
No.
Ms. Kerpick,
No.
Mrs. Sebastian,
No. The motion, would that be correct? The motion to amend?
Correct.
The motion to amend, amending the minutes to reflect discussing Robert's Rules of Order has failed.
we need to vote on the actual minutes as
Yep, I'm
stated.
looking now, okay.
Okay.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-80, approval of the written record of proceedings from the February 12th, 2020, oh, that was the one that you just
We
read.
already, we motioned
that one.
and we second, so all we need to do is a roll call.
Okay, I'm sorry. Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
No.
Mr. Reyes,
No.
Resolution 2026-02-80 has been approved. Well, we've made it to information to the board. Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, I'm sorry. Not, on which one? No, we don't have any. We don't have, Mr. Nucio, do I have to read that if if we don't have any?
we don't have any amendments.
So I can move forward?
Correct.
That's right, okay. So we are to information to the board, Dr. Hunt?
Good evening, everyone. Just a few things for you, just as a reminder. The pierogi dinner right around the corner, about a week away. This event is hosted in collaboration with our Partners in Education group. We appreciate their efforts and that foundation. All proceeds from this benefit will benefit our students and provide opportunities for betterment in our schools. So that date is March 6th, location Normandy High School, times 3:30 to 7 p.m. Tickets are available at each building. The Parma City Schools Foundation, different than PI, has partnered with Ale Marys to support our schools through the foundation by providing a portion of funds back to the foundation through their new program named a Wing and a Care program. With every 10-pack of wings ordered, Ale Marys will donate $2 to the PCSD Foundation for the benefit of our students. So every night's wing night. Make sure you get the Ale Marys. We're at the end of February, and this month has been Love the Bus Month. We've been celebrating Love the Bus Month all month. I just wanted to make sure that I pointed out that we are very pleased to highlight our transportation department, our bus drivers, our monitors, and all of our staff and their support staff for their work around student safety. I just want to make sure that I publicly acknowledge that group prior to the end of the month and thank a bus driver and thank our folks in transportation for taking care of our kids. And this Friday, February 26th, the cosmetology department at Normandy High School would like to extend a formal invitation to the board and community to attend the annual cosmetology competition, which will take place from 4 to 6. This event will be held again at Normandy High School in the cafeteria. This exciting competition features a variety of categories, including mannequin styling, nail design, special effects makeup, and live competitive events. It's a wonderful opportunity for students to showcase their creativity, technical skills, and the hard work they've put into perfecting their craft. Family and friends are encouraged to attend, and in previous years, we have welcomed crowds of up to 400 guests. The energy and support from the community truly makes this event special for the students, and we hope that you're able to join us and see firsthand the talent and dedication of our cosmetology students. Your presence would mean a great deal to them. So if you're available Friday, please show up. And that's all I have for you.
Thank you, Dr. Hunt. We are going to move to committee meeting reports. Business, Mrs. McTaggart.
Where is the committee report for business?
That's your report.
Okay, I'm not coming up with a report for business. So I don't think that that was agreed upon with, so you want me to develop a board report, not the meeting minutes? Now remember, you guys scheduled a meeting that I was unable to attend because you scheduled it knowing that I would be out on active duty orders. And if there was something that you guys created that was not on the agenda that I couldn't read, now, is that what happened? Am I responsible for something that I don't have any knowledge of?
You are responsible to attend the committee meetings as we all are. May I finish? And we all voted on those dates at our organizational meeting, I believe. So, and there was also, I believe, an email prior to that giving us a heads up on those dates and if there was any changes that needed to be made.
That's not my question.
I'm still talking.
That's not my question,
I'm still
though.
talking. Please.
Keep talking.
Thank you.
As long as we can
appreciate it.
stay for the executive session. Because there seems to be a timing issue with board
Ms.
members. So I
McTaggart,
just
do
wanna
you
make sure
have
that
the
we can-
business meeting minutes or
That's
not?
what I'm asking. So my question was, what business meeting minutes am I supposed to present to the board that I am unaware of?
May I
Those
just
are-
ask a question? Were
Yes.
those minutes included in the email with the agenda items on, when it said we got everything on Tuesday?
Okay, so am I supposed to read them?
Let me clarify.
Please.
So the business committee meeting was last week.
Correct.
You were not in attendance.
Correct.
You sent an email correct?
Correct.
Asking what happened at the meeting and that you wanted the meeting minutes.
Correct.
That's what you'd produce.
Okay,
What you were
so hold on
provided.
a second. Me being absent due to an emergency situation.
I had no
that's well
knowledge of that.
documented. You did, because that was in the email. Now, you stating that, what I was asking was, what would you like me to present? When we're presenting meeting minutes? I can read them if that's what you would like. Please
Mrs.
clarify.
McTaggart, if you do not have the minutes, we'll move on.
Please
This is-
clarify what you're
I
asking of
have.
me. You want me to read the meeting minutes that was sent to me? Yes or no?
I said yes. I've said that.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
No, you did not. Your goal was
I am
to.
not going
your
to argue
goal
with
was
you.
to show everyone that I wasn't at.
I will
the
not argue with you.
committee
Either you read the
meeting
minutes
due
or
to
you
an
don't.
emergency.
That's it. That's it.
I'll pull them up because I was not prepared for this. So let's.
We understand you weren't. That's clear.
Mrs. Sebastian, I think that it's really important that we try our best to work together. I understand, it's very clear that you don't care for me, and that's okay, because we're both elected members, and we have to work together. Okay, so give me a moment, because I wasn't aware that I would have to read off the meeting minutes for business committee. That's not something that we've practiced in the past.
It is, Ms. McTaggart.
It is not.
It is.
Again, was this discussed in a meeting that I wasn't that I wasn't here for when I was on active duty orders? Was it?
Ms. McTaggart, please read the minutes, or not read the minutes.
Give me a moment and I'll look them up.
We can come back to you while you're looking them up, if that's okay.
Sure, that's fine. I appreciate it.
Communications and community relations.
Thank you.
Oh, it's not, it has, okay, sorry, Ms. Kerpick.
Thank you, Mrs. Sebastian. So the communications and, oh my gosh, what is the official title of our? Communications and Community Relations Committee met on February 24th. In attendance was Dr. Cruz, Mrs. Sebastian, myself, Carissa Cochran, Beth Carter, and Lisa Frankie. Lisa Frankie took our minutes for us. So a couple things that we are working on in our committee is a community engagement session. We are going to be hosting one. The district is going to be hosting on March 18th at the Valley Forge Media Center. The plan is to provide an opportunity for our district to share financial information and for the community members to ask questions. Community members will be invited to ask questions at the time of the meeting or to ask them in advance. We are going to invite staff. We're going to share the date in the Parma Proud, and we are going to consider ways to have students be engaged in it. The committee also had discussion regarding updating the request to be heard forms. I feel that the form we have right now is a little complex, so we were hoping to make it easier for the community to understand and fill out. And the committee is going to take that suggestion to the treasurer's office. The committee also is bringing a suggestion to move the board meetings back to the media center. We considered the reason why we had previously moved from the auditorium to the media center. Given the space constraints that we have now, we have a lot of people who are in attendance. We believe that it would be better suited for the board if we were to move the meetings back to the auditorium. Previously, there were concerns about audio and lighting, and that was part of why we moved to hosting our meetings in here. However, those things have since been updated, so we believe it would make sense to move back to the auditorium to have more space for our community members. If this decision is made, we will make sure that the committee reaches out to get the appropriate permits, we update the webpage, and indicate the new meeting location. The next committee meeting is going to be held on March 4th at 3 o'clock at Arlington.
Thank you, Ms. Kerpick. Are you ready, or do you want me to move on to somebody else?
So clarifying question, you would like me to read the agenda?
Those are the agenda and the minutes. It's the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, if you could give us a high-level overview, you don't have to read them verbatim.
Well, the high-level review would be all of the resolutions that we're going to go through and vote on.
Absolutely, and they're highlighted, right? What we're
So,
gonna,
but we're going, that's why I'm trying to catch up here, and so
it's
you
to
want
give
me.
information. This was a discussion, just so I can clarify, this was a discussion that we had in a retreat, because, and this was based off of something that you had brought forward about having the committees, not having the information before we vote on resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we recognized that those committee meetings might be landing on the day of, but we do not, and the resolution's going to come before us. However, it's just going to happen that way. So you are reading resolutions this time on things we are voting on tonight. It's not always going to be like that.
So
And it hasn't in the past.
I appreciate that explanation, because, I mean, I wasn't there for whenever it was decided to read the agenda items for the business. I mean, I think
Ms.
that it
McTaggart.
could be helpful. I think that what would be most helpful is for the committee meetings to be more available to the public, and also recorded. So that's what I had discussed that I would like to see. I think that for time's sake, and since we're going over all of the resolutions, I'll be better prepared next meeting now that I understand what's expected, and be able to give you a better picture, I guess, of what happened in the committees.
I'd like to clarify for the record, though, this is not a new practice. This is something that we have been doing.
Mrs. Sebastian,
yes.
if I may, would it be possible for you to just reshare the templates with the entire board? Because I know there were templates that were created. Dr. Early, I believe that you had created those templates, so you may be the more appropriate person to share them if you don't mind. But maybe that would be helpful to all of us.
Yeah, I'll reshare them with everyone.
Thank you.
May I add, if anyone from the board has any feedback at any point of how we want to modify, like it's not my template I created as a starting point, but it's our template for our meeting. So we always could revisit that in conversation if we think there's modifications of the template or something that we would prefer over what we started with.
So each board member is, we are creating the agenda and the minutes.
We are not creating the agenda. We are reporting on the minutes of the meeting for transparency. And so board members have typically, like I said, would not have the resolutions that we're voting on tonight, would have time, like I would say our last board meeting, I reported on minutes, or I'm sorry, I reported on resolutions that we were going to be voting on then, and then maybe this meeting too, I don't know. But maybe it was prior to that. But yes, that's the idea. And that actually came from you. That was something that you had brought up. So I just want to
Similar,
reflect that.
yeah, similar. I think this is a little redundant, because the resolutions, when we go through them, gives us an opportunity for discussion and whatnot. I mean,
So I think I just heard Ms. Kerpick and Mrs. Early. I think I just heard that if you have any suggestions or feedback moving forward, we're open to that.
I
That
do.
would make it, that's great.
Yeah,
Let's- if you could-
recording the committees and then also making them better available to the public. So when I offered up, I guess kind of where you got reading the meeting minutes in committees, my concern was that the public doesn't know where or when the committees are. They're still inaccurately reflected on the site. And I think they should be recorded, because it's difficult for the public to attend committee meetings when they're at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. when they work. And so that would be my feedback, is that it would be nice to have them recorded. Yeah.
Ms. Sebastian?
We're looking at, yes, go ahead.
I do agree with Ms. McTaggart's suggestion about the website being more accessible with the committee meeting dates. I'm not sure exactly who's responsible for that portion of the website. I really love like CMSD's portion of their website for their committee meetings. It's really user-friendly. I do agree it can be challenging sometimes to find the committee meeting dates and times. And unfortunately, sometimes there's conflicting dates on the website. So I do agree with that suggestion. And I would love for us to make the website more clear when the committee meeting dates are and where they're at.
Dr. Early, if I may, could this be something that we could bring up in our, in the next communications committee and community engagement? I feel like this would be an appropriate place to discuss with Carissa where we could put those on the website and how they could be better viewed and better found by our community. Because I agree, I'm on my computer on the district's website right now trying to find them, and I'm struggling.
No, I think that's a great idea. And if members of the board would be willing at some point to look at CMSD's website to see what your thoughts are and how they platform and show their dates, and give Ms. Kerpick and I feedback for that in the committee meeting. I think we don't have a committee for 4 weeks. So I think that is a great item to add to our work that we do there.
And I just would like to add, there is more than just the resolution. So there's not just a redundancy, there's other information in there that is helpful as well. So it's not just voting on the resolutions. I want to be clear about that, just for transparency's sake. So, I'm hearing that we are going to move this to committee. Is that the discussion?
I'm comfortable with discussing this in the communications committee, if Dr. Early is, and if that's okay with the rest of the board.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
I'm going to move forward with curriculum. So actually, this is one of the times that we met today. Let me just go to new business. So we met today. We went over the one needs assessment, one plan that we, Dr. Early and I actually, as being members of the Curriculum and Instruction Committee, thank you so much. So we were able to attend and actually watch this in action. So Parma City School District will start to begin the next 3-year planning cycle as cohort 3 district in the state's Ed Steps process. So we talked a little bit about that. We also talked about the changes in KLA, the transition planning. Planning continues for the 2026-2027 redesign of KLA, our Kindergarten Launch Academy, into the pre-K program at First Step. There was stakeholder input, which included principal staff, build-in leadership teams. PTA was involved in that process, and a KLA information night, upcoming board action. So a future board approval request is anticipated regarding First Step peer tuition and KLA tuition structure. So that will be at our next board meeting. We will be looking at that. So this is where this is important to have these conversations. Also, PCSD gifted service program overview. The gifted services for 2026, 2027 will continue through a tiered model. Written education plans remain in place for any identified students in grades 2 through 12. And then whole grade screening continues using the COGAT, NWEA, and MAP assessments. So just before I move on, in response to our parents who have showed up and have advocated for a review of our gifted services, I just wanted to take some time to discuss that an administrative advisory committee has been, or is currently, I should say, working in partnership with families to review gifted services within district buildings. This group is examining current delivery models, identifying ways to strengthen sustainable, high-quality programming that best serve students while ensuring that there's a long-term viability across the district. And I believe the first meeting is in March, if I'm, okay. We talked about summer school programming. I believe the summer school programming is going to be all housed at Greenbrier. Just want to make sure that's why I keep looking at Dr. Cruz. It's a lot of information to take in one day and be able to report on. So also, we have Stay in the Game summer initiatives. Approximately 20 middle school teachers will attend Ron Clark Academy Professional Development and the development of the most passionate walking school bus. Dr. Cruz is very passionate about initiative at the elementary level. I got a brief description of what that looks like. I'm very excited about it. I don't know if I'm well-versed enough to talk about it, but I'm sure we'll have some more information coming up. We also had our CTE, our Career Tech, upcoming competitions. Students continue to participate in multiple state and national competitions, including BPA, DECA, Educators Rising, Culinary, many. Let's just say there's many. And we will have them at a future board meeting to recognize them. And then most importantly, the 2026-2027 registration launch. Registration opens March 2nd at 12:01, right? Is that 2026? So that'll be kindergarten registration, new student, STEM, and KLA. And then our kindergarten kickoff is March 7th from 9 to 12, I believe, at Pleasant Valley. So our next meeting will be April 9th. Thank you for that, everybody being patient. It was really lengthy today, but lots of good information. Is there any questions? Mr. Reyes, do you have finance?
So I'm actually going to let Mr. Nucio do it. So it's during these committee meetings, it's really tough for me to type, ask questions, and pay attention at the same time. So Mr. Nucio has actually been gracious enough to take the minutes for me. Which helps, so I appreciate it. So, and he's the financial expert, so I'll hand it off to him. Thanks, Mr. Nucio.
I have to pull this up because I wasn't expected to talk, but okay. So hold on a second.
Mr. Nucio, do you have them? I was going to say, if you don't have them, they are attached to the agenda, just for sake of timing, if that's,
Yeah, I'm the one that typed them up.
oh, okay.
Okay. So we went over a couple things at the Finance Committee meeting. Of course, one of the things we did discuss was the scenarios for emergency levy, not collecting on them, and that is on there, it's attached, and we talked about that at the 5 o'clock meeting. We did go over the monthly report, which we'll be voting on later in this meeting, and we went over the fund balances for all the funds. Let me see if there's something else in here that we discussed. We discussed the insurance reports. We've had a lot of high dollar amount claims, a lot of cancer claims, unfortunately, this year. So our fund balance in our health insurance fund is negative right now, but at one point it was about minus 3.5 million. Now it's about 286,000, I believe is the number. And we have something that's called stop loss. So if a claim, we have one claim was $3.2 million. We had to pay that out of our fund balance, out of our fund 024. But we have something called stop loss. So any claim over 200,000, we're not responsible for anything over that. So $3 million that we will get back, but unfortunately it doesn't happen right away. There's a timing difference. So that's why it got up, our balance got up to minus 3.5 million, and it's down to 286,000 negative. But I'm hoping next month we are positive because we keep getting these reimbursement, the stop loss reimbursement claims being paid, which is great for us. The general fund balance is pretty similar to last year at this time. And the PI balance, which is the Permanent Improvement Levy Fund, which is responsible for capital improvements. We received some money in property taxes from that, but not a whole lot so far. And that balance is $2.1 million right now. I had mentioned that the county has not sent out large advances on property taxes, so we expect our March 13th advance from the county to be a large number, probably 35 million, I'm hoping, 35 to 38 million. So that's when we'll be able to pay a lot of our bills when that comes in. I think that was pretty much sums up everything.
Thank you, Mr. Nucio.
Yep.
And then we'll move on to policy, Ms. Kerpick. I'm sorry, you have to go again? Or is that you?
No, that is not.
That is not you. Who has policy? Is that you, Mr. Reyes? Okay, well, if we get the policy minutes, can we just attach those to the,
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yeah.
if I may.
Yeah.
I think that we should all as a board revisit how we're going to be doing this.
I would agree.
Because like, even to me, like, this is a little confusing. Dr. Early, I believe that you had come up with a suggestion of like dividing it up so every person had a committee that they reported on. Is that correct? Because I know mine was communications, and although I also serve on the policy committee, I was not responsible for reporting on the policy committee. So I believe, Mr. Reyes, that would be you. So I don't believe that you are responsible for reporting on finance. But I could be incorrect in this here. It's just not making sense to me. Like, I know for a fact that I'm responsible for reporting on the communications one. And the other committee I serve on, I would not be responsible for that, which would make it your responsibility. But I don't know. I just think we all need to have a conversation about this. But I also, since we're talking about it, wanted to say that I don't think it's your responsibility to take the meeting minutes either. Because I totally understand what you're saying of how difficult it would be to ask questions and type the minutes up at the same time. And I believe that should be a responsibility of, I mean, like, we had Lisa Frankie do it in ours, Dr. Hunt's secretary. So I think that maybe Melissa would be possibly able to do it. Sean's secretary for the finance would make sense to me if she was asked to do it. Not putting you on the spot. But I just don't think it's your responsibility, because that would be very difficult.
Ms. Kerpick, I just want to say, I think this is something that we'll have to revisit in our what will be very long retreat of many items that we will have to work together on. However, it was really, I think the intention was not, some committees, meetings, minutes were already taken. It was never supposed to be like a verbatim, again, that high-level overview, especially things, the purpose was things that we were going to be voting on because there were concerns about items coming before us and not having discussion, and that is the purpose of the committees. Correct?
Yes, ma'am. I am happy to continue to engage in further discussion on how we handle this.
Okay, that's great. So we'll go ahead and move forward. Let me see where we're at. So communications.
Mr. Nucio had something to say.
I
I'm
was
sorry, Mr.
just
Nucio.
going to say, I'll continue to do the finance committee minutes, because it could be complex, and I can relay the message better than probably anybody else, because I work with those numbers every day.
So we can, those, what I'm hearing is those that who feel comfortable, taking those minutes or bringing them forward, will have that until there's further discussion on how this is going to be handled in the retreat. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Communications, board members.
I have some communications. So actually, it's in regards to when we voted on the PAGE program. I looked at some things, our policy and Robert's rules, and it appears that we passed the, to continue the PAGE program. So I know when we discussed it last, there were 2 board members that abstained, and Mr. Nucio, you had mentioned that abstention meant that basically a no vote. And I'm reading something different. Abstentions do not equal a no vote, and we passed it with a 2/3 vote.
So point of clarity, Ms. Singh. Is this a proper place to address this in communications, or is this something that we could move forward into new business? Would it be appropriate to have this discussion in communications?
President Sebastian, Board Member McTaggart, I'm just not familiar with what the communications portion of the meeting is intended to address, so I can't necessarily speak to that. But if it was something that was discussed at the last meeting, if the board feels that this is not in relation to the communications, it could be discussed under old business.
So I'll look at the more seasoned board members, but what I've known this to be is communications is where if, there was something within the buildings that you attended, if there were other items, I'm trying to think of any other items, things going on within the district that you would like to report on, is that I'll look at.
I would say that what you're saying is generally what communications has been used for in the past. However, I don't think that this use of it is incorrect, because this would be a communication coming from a board member. We haven't had many communications like that in the past, so I really can't say to what the appropriate place would be to have this conversation. I personally, I'm okay with having it here. I think the conversation should be had somewhere, and I do feel that this is an appropriate place until we decide as a board, like as a whole, where we would want to have these conversations. But unfortunately, there really isn't a past practice to default to.
Are you asking me something?
So
I'm just wondering,
I'm waiting. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for clarification on what you're asking for.
So I guess not what I'm asking for. It's, we passed the vote to continue the PAGE program. So there was a 2/3 vote. Mr. Reyes voted yes. I voted yes. Mrs. Sebastian, you voted no, and there were 2 abstentions. So we passed the vote to continue the PAGE program.
So I would like to clarify, Mr. Nucio, if you can, is that a majority vote that we were looking at because that makes a difference, right? If it's a majority vote?
I'm not sure I can answer that.
Okay.
Maybe Ms.
So,
I have a, oh, go ahead. No.
Ms. Singh, if you could, and then we'll get back to you, Dr. Early, I'm sorry.
So my understanding is it was a main motion to approve the PAGE program. Again, I was not here.
Yes.
Main motions will typically require a majority vote. Absent, there's something being in statute or board policy that requires something different. To speak to Ms. McTaggart's point about abstentions, abstentions are not the same as no votes. That's typically going to be used for something like if there's a conflict of interest and the board member does not wish to weigh in either a yay or nay vote. But I would not treat a no vote the same as an abstention. But they do not count as a vote either way.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
From my understanding, in the Curriculum and Instruction Committee meeting today, that's what the purpose of that committee is with the parents, right? Is to talk about what our gifted services will look like moving forward to address, okay. Thank you.
Mrs. Sebastian?
Yes.
Well, this may be a question for Ms. Singh more than you, but so after that vote was made, Mr. Nucio, I believe, or Dr. Early said that the motion had failed. And we went forward from that. Does that play into what happens because they said the motion was the motion has failed? I don't know. I've never been in this position before, so I'm just trying to, to navigate all of this. But I know at the end of the vote, I'm sorry, Sean, I don't know if it was Mr. Nucio. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if it
believe I
was you
said
or
it.
Dr. Early who said that, but I know it was said, and then that wasn't challenged at the time. I don't know. I'm just trying to understand here what if that plays into this, if that means anything, if it does not. Thank you.
I think because I'm not clear on what the vote was, that this might be better to discuss, either later, because I just don't want to misspeak or, answer incorrectly, not having been here, knowing what the motion was, and again, what the votes were. And then also, again, my understanding is it should be a majority vote if it's a main motion, but just double checking that it wouldn't require anything different. I don't believe that, but I don't want to speak to that just off the cuff, not having all the information.
So, another point of clarification. So, if it did in fact fail, where does that leave us?
If I'm understanding correctly, the motion was made
To continue the
continue,
PAGE program,
which
but
is-
there was no specifics around it. It was just to continue the PAGE program,
Okay.
which is okay, I understand, but what I'm saying is, it was, a year was in there, but what I'm saying is specifically what the PAGE program would look like was not defined. So to Dr. Early's point is, we talked about that in curriculum and instruction today, that there is moving forward a committee, an advisory committee of those parents to move forward. So I guess my question is, would that fulfill the motion? Sorry.
May I ask a question? Was there a resolution that was adopted by the board to discontinue?
There was
Pro-
not. This was never, and that was a point of discussion, is this was never supposed to be something that came before the board. It's an operational, it's under the superintendent's.
It is not, though. We can have a fluid conversation.
No,
Mrs.
when
Sebastian.
somebody has the floor, under Robert's rules, somebody has the floor.
You have the
That's
floor
what
for
it
a
is.
very long period of time, and I
I'm
think
the
that
presiding officer.
that's fine. But you know what? I think that having an attorney
So I am
here
not
is
allowed
best
to ask
served for
questions.
a
I'm
work
not
session.
allowed
You
to
are, but I am
talk.
as well. I am as well.
So proper, you are about rule following, right?
Yes.
So, when
Absolutely.
somebody has the floor, they yield the floor, and I am the presiding officer.
Let's just move forward.
Actually, I have been very, very patient with allowing you to interrupt me, and you have not asked for the floor.
Let's move
So
forward.
I am
Mrs.
going
Sebastian.
to, it's clear you are not going, as you say, work together with me.
No, I just want to move
So
forward.
yes, let's not keep emotions in it, Ms. McTaggart,
Please.
right?
Yes,
Right?
so let's
That's
move
your-
forward.
Yes, so if I can go back to what we were saying is, would that fulfill the motion? So the motion was to continue the PAGE program for the 2020, was it the 2027, 2028 school year? Or 2026, 2027, I'm sorry, school year. So if, based on what we said tonight, there was an advisory committee that was formed, and they are moving forward. It should have never been something that it was a motion that came on the floor that nobody was prepared, by the way, for transparency. It was not on the agenda. So I just need to know where that leaves us. If you can do that, and if you can, I don't want to put you on the spot. We could move this again, but I feel like we've fulfilled that.
Just, if I could ask a point of clarification. So there was a committee that was created that is now looking into
Yes.
the program. If the motion carried and did pass, then yes, to me, that would fulfill, if there's a desire to be very specific about what that motion would have required, I think that's a different discussion. But, if it was simply to continue the PAGE program, I think, the committee can then, after the committee meets, the committee can then make a recommendation to the board. If the motion failed, then obviously there would be no action required beyond that since the motion failed. But obviously it's within the board's purview, if you wish to create a committee and move forward on a particular topic. But I think if the motion did carry, that would be sufficient.
Thank you. So, Ms. McTaggart, with that being said, are you not in agreement that that is fulfilling that? Or is there something else that you are asking?
I'm not in agreement, no.
What are you not in agreement with?
The motion passed to continue the PAGE program for 26, 27. And also, just to clarify, it is the board's responsibility to approve any discontinuation of a program, a district-wide program. It is. So
Strongly
3313. I'm sorry.
I
What?
strongly disagree.
So you interrupted me, and I'm okay with that because I understand that that happens. But I wanted to point that out because it's not the first time tonight, but because you keep pointing it out for me.
Okay.
So I don't
Duly
want to
noted.
offend anyone.
Sure.
Okay? I just want to have good, fluid conversation. And I think that I want to be sure too, to clarify, how much additional cost is it to have an attorney here that is not a work session? Because I think that this is inhibiting.
I'm going to say this once again. This is out of order. We were talking about the PAGE program. We would continue to talk about the PAGE program, or we can move forward, Ms. McTaggart, if you would like.
Mrs. Sebastian, if I may.
Yes.
I know we had kind of just very briefly talked about past practice in this part of the agenda. And generally, this was not a conversational time. This was more of just, whomever the board member is kind of saying their piece, and then we would move on to the next person. I just wanted to point that out. I'm not necessarily saying that is how we have to operate with it, but just for the sake of keeping things in the spots that they should belong in.
I have something to say, though, and I think that discussion is important. I think that the board collectively should have made the decision to have an attorney present, and we could have prepared for a work session. I think that when the attorney is being asked questions, and ma'am, I appreciate you being here, and I do appreciate your knowledge and your guidance, I do. I just don't think that, well, I know that the board collectively didn't decide to have you here, didn't agree to that. It's not that I'm opposed to it, but during a work session is more appropriate than a public meeting where we're stopping and asking you for guidance. It's prolonging a meeting, and we have an executive session that we have to get through, and we haven't even made it to our resolutions yet.
Yeah, I would love to make it to our resolutions. So do you yield the floor?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to clarify this once again. The board did approve an attorney.
When?
Because our organizational meeting, we have an approved list of attorneys, and you voted on it. You voted on those approved list of attorneys. I sent you an email. Did you receive the email? Did you review the email that I sent?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And, okay, so why are we waiting until this meeting to discuss that? Why did you not, you had no.
Mrs. Sebastian,
I'm-
whether or not I responded, you don't send an email out and say, hey, just so that you're aware, I'm going to have an attorney present.
That's not what was said in
This
there.
is a cost to the district, and it's not helping our meeting, it's not improving our discussions, and.
It absolutely is.
It absolutely is not.
We can agree to disagree. Can we move on?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Treasurer? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Excuse Mrs. Sebastian, if
Yeah.
I may. Okay. I just wanted to elaborate. Dr. Hunt had spoke about the cosmetology competition, and I just wanted to share a little more information on that, if that's okay. Tickets are required to attend. They're $3 and they are selling them at the door. They're also going to have raffle baskets and a bakery sale, pizza, beverages for sale as well. And all of those things will benefit the Normandy Cosmetology Department. And if you've never gone before, it is amazing the work that these students put into it. Some of them work on teams and they have a live model that they're working on, so you get to actually see the process of what they're doing. Other ones have a lot of like fantasy designs. I was in there this morning and I saw a head that was Alice in Wonderland themed, and half of the head was the Cheshire Cat and the other half was Alice. I mean, the things that these children are doing in there is just amazing, amazing. I love the COS program, so I cannot, speak enough about how great it is. But this show is really just such a great exhibit of their talents. So if you can go, I highly, highly recommend it. I also just secondly wanted to thank Mrs. Sebastian for the email that she had sent on the 23rd detailing Emmy being here and her involvement in this. I think that that was a really good step to take, and that it's really important for our board to have someone guiding us on parliamentary procedure. For me personally, it's been a struggle. This is not how my previous couple of years on the board have been, so this has been new to me, and I really appreciate her being here and the guidance that we can have from her. Tammy had mentioned in the email that we would consider having a future work session, and I would just like to say that I am very much so in support of that idea, and I definitely think that we should, in addition to Emmy being here, have a work session with her as well. Thank you.
I would agree to that.
Thank you.
Ms. Sebastian?
Dr. Early.
I want, Ms. Sebastian mentioned that this week we attended the district leadership team meeting at the Snow Road Library. Thank you, Dr. Cruz, for inviting us. And during that meeting, the administrators come together from all the buildings along with a representative from their building, typically a teacher, to do various tasks, whether academic or the resilient learner. It's amazing to be around the group of administrators and teachers who are dedicated to working towards our playbook and work on the one plan. As a previous administrator, the one plan is a very tedious process that is required by the state of Ohio. But the entire time, that group worked really hard. They took it very seriously. It wasn't just viewed as like checking a box, but they were very committed to aligning that with our district goals. So thank you for letting us be a part of that process. And thank you to our administrators and the staff that are involved and make that time to come to those meetings. Thanks. Thank you, Ms. Sebastian.
Ms. Sebastian?
Yes.
Thank you. So I just wanted to take just a minute. I won't be long. Trust me. I'm a long-winded person, but I just wanted to reflect really quick on my first 2 months as being a board member, and I want to thank Ms. Kohar and Mr. Vaughn for your many years of service, because this is a tough job. It's a tough job. Learn a lot. I think we all are learning a lot, and I just hope that we continue to learn together, talk together. It seems like the first 2 months, it's been tough on all of us, and I just hope that the collaboration improves and that we can have some open, positive dialogue and really try to focus on a lot of problems that the district is facing. And I just hope we can learn together, grow together, and be respectful to one another. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes. Any other communications from board members? Mr. Nucio?
I do not have any.
Thank God. Sorry, did I say that out loud? PTA Council Report, Heather Akechi.
Oh, there we go. All right, good evening. My name is Heather Akechi, and greetings from Parma Council PTA. I am honored to serve as treasurer for Parma Council. On February 11th, Parma Council PTA, consistent with PTA long-standing nonpartisan advocacy role, passed a resolution in support of our May 5th, 2026 income tax levy issue. Parma Council PTA supports initiatives that promote equitable, and sustainable funding for public education. Supporting this levy aligns directly with the PTA's mission to be a powerful voice for all children, a relevant resource for families and communities, and a strong advocate for the education and well-being of every child. All local units are encouraged to consider passing this resolution within our own organization so members may assist with the levy campaign while representing PTA appropriately and in alignment with our mission. Last evening, we had the privilege of celebrating our Reflections and Calendar artists. This year, 28 students participated in the Reflections program, and 54 students were recognized as calendar artists. Thank you, Dr. Cruz and Board Member Brittany Kerpick, our Parma City School District staff members, and our dedicated Reflection chairs for attending and supporting talented student artists. Next year's Reflections theme is What My Culture Means to Me. Students may submit entries in the 6 artistic categories that include dance choreography, film production, literature, musical composition, photography, and visual arts. We thank all students who submitted the artwork this year and encourage participation next year. We are also now accepting submissions for next year's calendar. Photos of artwork can be submitted to our email, parmacouncilpta@gmail.com. Speaking of recognition, we are currently accepting nominations for our annual Special Education Advocate Award. Nominees are due to March 1st, and the forms are available on the district website. Scholarship applications have been distributed to their sponsors, and we are in the next phase of that program. Next week, President Candy Graves, Vice President Linda Nichols, our Advocacy Chair Donna Contra, and myself will be traveling to Washington, D.C. to attend the National PTA Legislative Conference. On Tuesday, we'll be meeting with our state representatives to advocate on behalf of children and families. Our priorities include investing in programs that support our nation's children, including federal funding in IDEA, Title I, Title IV-A grants, and statewide family engagement centers, protecting immigrant children and families, restoring SNAP funding, strengthening family school partnerships, ensuring children's online safety, and protecting our schools from violence. So no, we aren't just the bake sale PTA. Upon our return, we will be transitioning into our annual babysitters course for our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. The registration deadline is fast approaching. All information has been distributed to all our middle schools. This course will be held at Valley Forge on Saturday, March 7th and March 14th. We thank ahead of time our dedicated Parma and Parma Heights Fire Department that come and help us with assisting with our CPR and first aid training. Our annual Founders Day celebration, is quickly approaching too. This event will take place on March 25th at 6 p.m. in the Valley Forge cafeteria. All invitations have been sent out to our past PTA presidents, young and old, and our award recipients. I believe all board members have received an invitation as well. In addition, our Geranium Scholarship Fundraiser will be running very soon, starting March 1st and through April 15th. Orders will be available for pickup on Saturday, May 2nd at Valley Forge in the parking lot over by the auditorium. Our next council meeting will be held Wednesday, March 11th at 7 p.m. in the Valley Forge cafeteria, and all are welcome to attend. Finally, if you looked at our social media page, we have started a contest within our PTAs, Where is Parma? Where is Freddie in Parma, the flamingo? So our PTA units all received a laminated Freddie the Flamingo, and he has been traveling throughout the district to many PTA events. So we encourage you to like our posts, share our posts, and one of our units at the end of this contest will be receiving a prize, but they're not in it for the money. There's some cute posts already, trust me. All that being said, thank you for your continued partnership and support of the children and families of Parma.
Thank you, Mrs. Ketchy, and I love Founders Night every year, so this is my official RSVP, by the way.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and thank you for going beyond the bake sale. And where are we? Yep. Okay. So at this point, we will open up the meeting to the public to address the board on tonight's agenda items. Do we have any requests to be heard forms on? Not on agenda items. Okay. Okay. So we will go ahead and then move forward to our resolutions. So we will start with business, Ms. McTaggart.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-82, authorizing the purchase of switches under a cooperative purchasing program for Pleasant View and Byers Field Transportation Building.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-82. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-82 has passed.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-83, approving GPS tracking system agreement under a cooperative purchasing program for district vehicles.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-83. Are there any questions and or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-83 has passed.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-84, authorizing under a cooperative purchasing program the purchase of one salt truck for the maintenance department.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-84. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
Ms. Sebastian, I
Yes.
do have a question. Did we get any other quotes for a truck from any other manufacturers?
No, we did not get any other quotes because this is purchased under a cooperative purchasing agreement. And so the co-op goes out and bids that for us, and they get all the bids, and they tell us, this is the company that provided the lowest bid. So we don't have to do that process. It's done for us ahead of time.
Can we request the other bids that they received for it?
We could.
Okay.
I can contact, I'm not
Okay.
sure if it's Ohio School Council, or if it is, I can contact them tomorrow and ask them to provide the other companies that bid.
And then can the truck be used for anything else besides salting?
It's probably, I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't answer that question.
I'd appreciate it if, Dr. Hunt, if you could look into it. Thank you.
Where are we at? I'm sorry. So questions and comments. Are there any other questions or comments from the board? I just want to make sure there's no more. Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-84 has passed, or has been approved. I apologize. I've been saying has passed. Has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-85, authorizing purchase of one color copier printer for production printing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-85. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-85 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-86, authorizing restroom renovation at Densler Elementary School.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-86. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-86 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-87, authorizing offering advertising sponsorships for district athletic programs.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-87. Are there any other questions or comments from the board?
I had a question. We weren't able to see the type of advertisement. Is it just the company's name?
So this was reviewed in the business committee, and all the members there and board member, we reviewed it, and I think nobody had issues with it. I don't remember exactly what it was, but we reviewed it and no one had an issue with it. It seemed like it was not political at all, and I believe it may have been an insurance company, if I remember
It was.
correctly.
Ms.
So-
McTaggart?
It's just the company's name. Is there a slogan or something associated with it?
There was nothing.
It's in the business agenda? It's supposed to be with this agenda. We're supposed to see it.
Ms. McTaggart, that's the point of the minutes. That's what I was just going to clarify. That's why we have that in the minutes. That is usually submitted and attached to the agenda.
I think that it should still be a part of the agenda when you're voting on it, because it is.
It is.
I mean, we have to make sure that this agenda, it wasn't, you can't see if there's a slogan or what have you. We've ran into trouble with this in the past, and so it is very important that, does anyone know the slogan then? Can you share with me?
Yeah.
What
And
is
it's
it?
also in the minutes if you pull them up.
I'm sorry? The company is listed, it's just the slogan or whatever the actual advertising is. And the reason I'm asking is that we've had concerns in the past where someone has purchased advertising and then we've had to take it down, and so it is important that we all know it. No one's able to state what it is, so. Dr. Early, do you know, then? You were at the business committee meeting?
No,
I'm not-
that's
I'm
you
not
and
on the
I.
business committee.
Oh, okay. Could you
That's
tell me
you and
then?
I.
Since you were on,
Yes. No, I cannot tell you that because this is where I'm going to go back to. That was at the business committee meeting that you.
You don't know.
Are supposed.
that's what I'm getting out of this.
I was at the business committee meeting that you did not attend.
Yes, ma'am.
That you were
You've said
responsible.
that several
for.
times
I'm going
now.
to.
It should
I'm
still
not.
be a
I'm
part
just
of the
going to move on.
agenda.
I'm just going to move on. So, do you have any more questions or comments?
Yeah, my question hasn't
What is
been
that?
answered yet. Thank you, Mr. Nucio, for allowing me to see this. This is our responsibility to see it and understand what it is. It's not emotional. It's not personal.
It's not emotional, and nobody's emotional.
You're
I'm just
very
clarifying. Do no personal attacks.
That's not.
That is a personal attack. You are stating what I am feeling. I am
Okay.
trying to preside, once again, over a meeting. I am trying to clarify. Obviously, it's you who is emotional because I'm trying to clarify your questions and you are not listening. I am trying to tell you, those are in the minutes. You did not listen. You waited for Mr. Nucio to pull it up. You can look at that now. Thank you.
All I asked is if there was a slogan or something, okay?
And we
So-
answered yes.
And there isn't, actually.
There is a picture of a building. Are you looking at a picture of a building?
He got rid of it, but I'm okay. I saw it. So
That there is a picture of a building. I can identify that.
I
Is that the
appreciate
question?
everybody's
Thank you.
patience in allowing me to look at that.
Any more questions or comments
Ms.
from the board?
Sebastian?
Yes.
Can I see that really quick too, Mr. Nucio? Sorry.
If I may, Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
I believe that we had, as a board, agreed as a norm would be to ask our questions ahead of time. So I just wanted to make that point. So going forward, when we have questions on agenda items like this, when we receive the agenda a few days in advance, I feel that a more appropriate time would be to ask those questions before the meeting. That way, this could have been sent to any board members who have concerns with it. I'm not saying that to offend anyone or anything like that. I just think it's a good reminder. So going forward, we can follow and abide by that norm to ensure the efficiency and the continuing of our meetings. Thank you.
It was also a board norm that we would have the advertisements attached to the agenda so that we could see it and approve it.
Mrs. Sebastian?
Yes.
I don't necessarily recall speaking to specific examples like that in our board norms, but I would definitely like to have that conversation if that is something that we want to do as a board. Mrs. Sebastian, if you could possibly make a note for this to be a point of discussion at our retreat, that would be appreciated by me.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments from the board?
Ms. Sebastian?
Yes.
Thank you. So just in response to the agenda, so I received the agenda at 3:21 p.m. on Tuesday. So that's not a lot of time. You see, this agenda is jam-packed. It's not a lot of time to go through all this stuff. So I think I think to have some questions, it's to be expected.
Mr.
Unless we
Ray.
can find a way to get it to us quicker, I think that'd be great too. So.
Mr. Reyes, do you yield the floor?
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say, sorry, I just want to say, Mr. Reyes and Ms. McTaggart, we all receive the agenda at the same time. It is our duty to come to the board meeting prepared. Nobody's saying that you cannot ask questions, but the questions have turned from questions to questioning. So questions are appropriate, questioning is not. And the questioning comes to whether or not we knew whether or not there was a slogan there, whether there wasn't, why it wasn't attached to the agenda. And we can go and we can do this all night. I think Ms. Kerpick recommended we talk about this in the retreat because we had agreed previously that this is why we had minutes. And those minutes or the overview of our committees had it attached because at our last meeting, we actually, Ms. McTaggart asked for the slogan to be pulled up. So I'm assuming you didn't see it either because you asked for it at the board meeting, correct?
I'll always ask for it if it's not attached to the agenda.
But it was.
This time it was not.
I'm saying previously
I asked
it was.
for them to pull, yes, because it was on the screen.
Exactly.
So that everyone could see it. That's,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly my
not,
point.
not for me.
Okay, any more questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nocio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-87 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-88, authorizing lease agreement for a mail center for district use.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-88. Are there any other questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. I think you said me twice. No?
You didn't
Okay,
call my
okay.
name. You called
Yeah,
Mrs. Sebastian
yeah,
instead of me.
yeah.
I did?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was like, that's twice.
I was like, she's giving me a weird look. I didn't know why.
Do we need to? You got me recorded, right? Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-02-88 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-89, authorizing security monitoring service agreement for the print shop.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-89. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-89 has been approved.
Unless anyone else has anything to discuss, this concludes business.
Thank you. Curriculum, Dr. Early? Right, it is you, it changed. So.
Thank you. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-90, approval of an overnight/out-of-state field trip for Normandy High School to Costa Rica.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-90. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-90 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-91, approval of an overnight/out-of-state field trip, in-state, to Columbus, Ohio on June 4th through 6th for Normandy High School track team.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-91. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-91 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-92, approval of an overnight and/or out-of-state field trip for the Normandy High School District Wrestling Tournament from March 6th to 7th, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-92. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-92 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-93, approval of an overnight and/or out-of-state field trip for Normandy High School State Wrestling Tournament on March 13th, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-93. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-93 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-94, approval of overnight and/or out-of-state field trip for Valley Forge District Wrestling Tournament on March 6th, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-94. Are there any other questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-94 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-95, approval of overnight and/or out-of-state field trip for the Valley Forge OHSAA Girls Wrestling State Tournament on March 12th, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-95. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Mr. Nucio, I'm sorry. I don't know what I was calling you. Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-95 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-96, approval of overnight and/or out-of-state field trips for Valley Forge Wrestling State Championships on March 13th, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-96. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-96 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-97, approval of overnight and/or out-of-state field trips for Valley Forge Track and Field OHSAA State Championships on June 5th, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-97. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-97 has been approved.
Do any other board members have anything further to discuss regarding curriculum tonight? So that concludes curriculum.
Thank you, Dr. Early. Finance, Mr. Reyes?
Thank you, Ms. Sebastian. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-98, approval of the January 2026 financial report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-98. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-98 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-99, approval of supplemental appropriations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-99. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-99 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-100, ratification of investments.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-100. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2020, yes, Resolution 2026, I think I'm in the wrong one.
02-100.
Yep, 100, sorry. Resolution 2026-02-100 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-101, a resolution requesting inclusion in the Great Lakes Regional Council of Governments, GLCOG, and the Healthcare Benefits Program of the Consortium, approving the Consortium Agreement and bylaws, approving the agreement regarding the Healthcare Benefits Program, authorizing the signing and delivery of those agreements, and approving related matters.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-101. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
I apologize, I didn't get out fast enough. I was just going to ask Mr. Nucio to elaborate on this a little bit so that everyone understands.
So over the last probably 6 to 9 months, we've been looking at joining a health consortium because we're about 1,200 employees in our plan. We're like almost big enough to be alone, be by ourselves, but really not. We're kind of in between. And with that, we're susceptible to large claims like we have been last year and the year before. Joining a consortium, this is more like a purchasing group than a consortium, but it allows us to spread the risk. So instead of having 1,200 lives like we have now, employees, the consortium has about 4,200. So you spread the risk. We'll have savings on the administrative part. Right now, we pay Medical Mutual to do administration of our claims. Well, we would still be with Medical Mutual, but this would be claims of about 10 different districts. So it would be lower cost for us there, and in prescription costs would be lower. And that instead of having a premium increase of 18.57 like we did for all our employees, this 18.57%, we're looking at a 3% increase. And it's because there's more lives and we can spread the risk that It's better for employees, and the unions have both unions have been for it, OPSI and the PEA, so, and we're for it, so I think it's a good thing. They say we could save $1.5 million in our insurance fund in the first year. So I think it's a good move for us.
And this has been in the works for a long time.
Yeah, 6 to 9 months right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Nucio. Are there any other questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-101 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-102, adoption of updated 2025-2026 budget estimated and fiscal projections for fiscal years 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, and 2030.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-102. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
I have a question. Because of the way that it's worded, so I just want to make sure I'm clear. Are we voting on a budget?
You're voting on the
Or-
5-year forecast.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. That's all.
Are there any other questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-102 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-103, approval of contributions and donations.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-103. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
Okay.
If I may.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just going to take the line of our old president, Mr. Vaughn, and say thank you to all of these generous people who have thought of the district in their generosity. We obviously greatly appreciate it.
I was going to say the same thing. I believe Mr. Vaughn uses these fine people, though.
I'll be better prepared. I will be better prepared next time.
But that was my comment, too.
I would also like to thank them as well. I think we all do. These fine people. Make sure that's clearly stated. Any other questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-103 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-104, authorization to accept student activity purpose statement, Valley Forge Girls Flag Football Club.
Second? So sorry. Goodness.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-104. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-104 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-105, authorization to accept student activity purpose statement, Valley Forge Girls Wrestling Club.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-105. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-105 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-106, authorization to accept student activity purpose statement, Valley Forge, class of 2027.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-106. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-106 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-107, authorization to accept student activity purpose statement, Thorough Park Disability Awareness Coffee Cart.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-107. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-107 has been approved.
Do any other board members have anything further to discuss regarding finance tonight? This concludes finance.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes. We'll move on to Human Resources. Ms. McTaggart.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-108, approval of the following certificated exhibits: confirmation of stipend amounts, confirmation of supplemental appointments, confirmation of supplemental contracts, approval of certificated non-compensated leaves of absence, acceptance of certificated resignations.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-108. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-108 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-109, acceptance of certificated retirements.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-109. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-109 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-110, approval of the following classified exhibits: confirmation of classified appointments, confirmation of classified replacements, confirmation of classified changes, confirmation of classified stipends, acceptance of classified resignations, approval of classified non-compensated leaves of absence.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-110. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-110 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-111, acceptance of classified retirements.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-111. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-111 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-112, authorization to release from employment during probationary period, classified employee.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-112. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-112 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-113, resolution to approve the tentative agreement between the Parma City School District Board of Education and the Ohio Association of Public School Employees, Safety and Security, Local Number 405.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-113. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
I have some. So comments, this is the first time that I'm hearing of the SROs being unionized, and it's 59-page tentative agreement. And so I want to be clear that before I even go on with my comments and questions, that I'm not against the SROs becoming unionized. However, I think we should have been aware of this much sooner than 48 hours ago. So I guess my first question would be, when was the board formally notified of this?
Can I make a clarifying comment, Mrs.
Yes,
Sebastian?
yes.
The SROs are not unionizing. The SROs are SROs work for the city of Parma or the city of Parma Heights. These are our safety and security employees who work for us. So those are the ones who are forming a union, and there are 6 of them that are forming this union. It's not the SROs, just for clarification.
I appreciate the clarification.
May I ask a quick question? So we are being asked to vote on a tentative agreement. So are you asking when we were notified of a tentative agreement, or are you I need clarification on that?
When we were notified that we were even going to discuss this.
So I believe this may have predated Dr. Hunt's. So when Dr. Smilek was here, I learned over the summer that the safety and security wished to unionize, and there's a process. They have to go down, they have to file something with CERB down in Columbus in order to unionize, and they have to take a vote to see if they can unionize. And then we start to negotiate. I think they send us a notice intent to negotiate. So I believe that Dr. Smilek would have notified the board at that time. I'm pretty sure he would have done it. I'm not in those Friday updates, but I would say if something like this, I don't think Dr. Smilek would leave this out of his Friday update. So I would think this probably happened in early spring, or maybe towards the end of the last school year, that he notified the board that this union wishes to negotiate a contract, and that we'd start the process. And the process took a couple months, 2 or 3 months, and I think we're finally to the point where we have the tentative agreements, which is not actually the contract. These are just, both sides have agreed to this. There's 4 people on our side, the school district, and 3 on the employee side, and we've come to an agreement. It's not a whole lot different from the big OPSI contract. The raises are the same as the OPSI contract, and these employees already had that raise prior to this negotiation. The thing that may be a little bit different is reimbursement and what is involved, what kind of equipment we buy for them and what equipment they have to purchase for themselves, or what kind of reimbursements there are. But mostly it's similar to the current OPSI contract. And we don't have a contract in place yet, but when that contract does get completed, it'll come up for a vote from the board again. And maybe that's next month, maybe it's the month after, I'm not sure. It just depends how long it takes to put the contract together. So I hope that answers the question.
Does that answer your question?
It doesn't, because I asked when we were formally notified, in which that record should be kept with the treasurer's office. So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
also, we would have had an executive session to discuss amongst the board members to prepare for negotiations. That would have been, so I looked back, and I didn't see any executive session where we met to discuss any collective bargaining agreement. So I'm concerned with that. I'm concerned that we're approving a tentative agreement, again, only receiving or ever hearing of it 48 hours prior to. And so we don't just approve a contract. There are many steps prior to. The board is informed and also sets the parameters for negotiations. So the superintendent, the treasurer, or the assistant superintendent wouldn't negotiate those things without the parameters and guidance or direction from the board. And this didn't happen, so that's concerning.
Can I speak, Mrs.
Yes.
Sebastian? So I can't tell you the exact date that Dr. Smilek would have notified the board, but something like this is pretty major. I'm pretty sure that he would have done that. I'm not in the Friday update to go to the board members, so I can't say the specific date, but I would bet that he had notified the board. And if the union wants to negotiate, they don't usually contact the treasurer's office. They'd contact the superintendent's office and say their wish or their intent to negotiate. And the superintendent would appoint people for the negotiations. And
The
I'm
superintendent
sorry,
doesn't appoint.
Could I finish, please? The superintendent would appoint the people who would be on this negotiation committee, and that's something that would fall under the superintendent's guides as his role. I
So-
yield the floor.
Thank you.
Ms. Kirkpatrick, Ms. McTaggart, if you could, I'm sorry. Ms. McTaggart, Ms. Kirkpatrick has been asking to have the floor, so.
Ms. Sebastian, if I may, thank you. The board was notified by Charlie on Wednesday, June 4th at 2:26. I have a text message here. I'm just going to read the first sentence of that text message. The first sentence says, "Our security team is unionizing." There is more beyond that. I don't know if I should continue to read the text message. But the first line of it says, "Our security team is unionizing." Happy to screenshot that, share that, show that to whoever may need to see it. Thank you.
Ms. McTaggart, you,
Thank you for having that date, Brittany. That's very helpful. So and this is when I was on active duty in Dover. Was I on that text message thread?
Give me a second to pull it up again.
Sure, I appreciate it. Also, while you're looking for that, did we meet in executive session then to set the parameters or to discuss?
You were not on this text message thread. The text message, as I see it, was between Linda, Mark, Steve, Charlie, and myself. There's no communication under this about meeting for this. It was clearly just informative from Charlie to what I now see is the four of us.
So I have a question, and Mrs. Sebastian, you've asked several questions to the attorney. I apologize, Cindy, is that correct? Or
Emmy.
It's
Emmy,
Emmy.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
What was that?
Emmy.
Emmy. So what are your thoughts on,
Ms. McTaggart, I need to clarify, you have referenced Ms. Singh as our board attorney, and I want to clarify, she is on the approved list of attorneys. I did introduce her prior, gave you a background, and said why she and how she would be acting here. She is not here as legal counsel. She is here as her niche in parliamentary procedure. So I just want to clarify, we're not asking her as board counsel to comment on anything. So if it has to do with parliamentary procedure, that's fine. But we are not asking her to weigh in as an attorney.
okay, so I understand she's not our general counsel, if that's what you were meaning.
Could
She's
I-
a board attorney. She's not general counsel. She's not acting as general counsel. Okay, so never mind. Well, under ORC 121.22 G4, we should have met in executive session after being notified when these discussions took place.
Could I speak on that, Ms. Sebastian?
Yes, please.
That is one of the reasons we can meet in negotiation, in executive session. It doesn't require us to meet in executive session if we don't feel the need is needed.
Well, so the board is the one who feels or decides whether or not it's needed. And it absolutely is needed in order for us to fulfill our role in what we're elected to do. This is very important. We're supposed to meet in executive session, and then we discuss, we set the parameters for the superintendent to then go and negotiate. And then the superintendent, we would meet several times in executive session after, and we would be kept to the loop as to how negotiations are progressing. And we make the decisions and give the superintendent the ability then to go and further negotiate. We tell him what we'd like to see. So, if you read up here, the Board of Education of the Parma City School District, hereinafter, the board and the Ohio Association of Public School Employees, Safety and Security, Local Number 405. This tentative agreement is between the Board of Education and the others listed, and the Board of Education wasn't involved in any of this. City Council does it the same way. So very similar way. But if you read 121, ORC 121.22 G4, that's it. And also, and again, I'm not against negotiating this contract, or I think that it's clear that we have some governance challenges and concerns that we need to get through. But a 59-page contract, to receive that only 48 hours in advance, that's not efficient time to go through that and know and understand that. If I'm going to put my name to anything, I want to be able to understand what's in that. And that's not adversarial. That's very reasonable.
Mr. Nucio, I'm sorry, Ms. McTaggart. Thank you. Mr. Nucio, I don't believe that I've seen us approving tentative agreements previously. Is there a reason that we are being asked to approve this tentative agreement?
Yes, there is. So in this, I believe it was the childcare, they Local 165, they did it last year, where they approved the tentative agreement. The reason why we're putting this tentative agreement forward today is currently the safety and security guys, employees, I should say, are on the silver plan for healthcare. And if we approve this, then they have the same option as the regular OPSI employees of the other 5 or 6 unions to choose the gold plan for healthcare. But if we don't pass this, then they can't do it because the month of February is open enrollment for them. So they have the option of going to the other plan, the gold plan. But if it's not approved, then they're going to have to wait to October open enrollment, and it'd be effective November 1st. So we were trying to put this forward so we don't have to do an MOU or memorandum of understanding after the contract is approved to have a separate open enrollment for these 6 employees. So this is why we decided to send this forward at this time, because the board is going to eventually vote on that contract when it's ready.
Understood. So voting yes on this tentative agreement does not tie us to any of the terms in this agreement being in their final agreement, correct? I just want to make sure I understand fully before we vote.
We're just approving the tentative agreements as read, but it's not saying we approve their contract.
Perfect. Thank you. I have no further questions.
But practically, we are. I mean, so the tentative agreement is the contents of the contract. Then you would just go and draw up the contract. The tentative agreement is very important. I mean,
Go ahead.
we
You can
should have
finish.
been involved and discussing, meeting all along the way. So this is also retroactive to July 1st. So is there a reason that it's retroactive? Is that when, I mean,
We are only doing a 1-year term, so it's July 1st through June 30th, so we could be on the same schedule as the employees of the larger OPSI group, which there's 5 or 6 unions that represent them. So it'd be probably the 5 unions and part of the big OPSI group. We want to be on the same schedule as them. These employees who are the 6 employees, they're getting the same raise. They already got the raise. They were approved for that raise earlier. This is just going back to saying we're going to start July 1st, so we're on the same cycle as everyone else. We don't want, otherwise they'd be on a 2-month cycle, and that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Usually you're doing it on a yearly basis.
Thank you, Mr. Nucio. So are there any other comments or questions from the board?
yes.
Sebastian, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just want to have a clarifying question. So what would be the appropriate environment to, I guess, be briefed on the terms of this agreement?
Executive session. It is.
I'm not, it,
I don't
I'm-
know
I'm
who
just
you're
part of the
directing that
commi-
question
I mean,
to, so.
I'm just part of the negotiation team.
Yeah.
It's not
So
my point
we
to
as a
say
Board of
that.
Education authorize our administrative leadership to go into negotiations. That's what we do as a Board of Education.
When did we authorize it?
This is board,
Authorization right now?
no, if I can clarify what I'm saying is, when you were saying this is something that I actually wrote down, you said that we would go in and set parameters.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we authorize our leadership team to do as a Board of Education.
When?
In general.
No,
In
it's not-
general,
we don't-
that is the practice. That is
So-
what happens. It's not very often that boards of education go into negotiations.
Right.
So my question to you would be, and then I would like to move on. So if there was,
This is
I'd
a
like
big
to-
deal. I'm not ready to move
I understand it's a
on.
big deal.
And I have
I'm
more
saying I would like to
questions.
move on. And you've already had ample time to speak. Mr. Reyes, is talking, and we can go back to him.
Let's-
Everybody has not had it. I haven't even had a turn. So now you're not letting me talk,
Because
right?
you're not
So
asking questions or talking about the topic,
I am
Tammy.
talking about the topic.
Sorry, Mrs. Sebastian, you're talking around it.
I am actually clarifying and talking. I am definitely in order. So I have comments. These are comments or questions. Am I not part of the board? Thank you. So what I'm saying is that is not typical for a board. So if you're going to go in and set parameters, what parameters are you setting? Can you name them?
Where to start, for one.
Where would you
So
start, Ms. McTaggart?
So first of all, I don't know.
Exactly.
They would
That's
come-
why
maybe a contract. So that's why we meet in executive session, Mrs. Sebastian. So yes, under ORC 4117.10, this is the statute.
We'll agree
that
to disagree.
establishes, no, we are the public employer. And so when I say we set parameters, we go into executive session after we're informed I mean, I don't know why you're fighting me on this. This is a very important role of the board members. So,
Ms.
and we haven't
McTaggart,
been
I have every
involved.
right, as you do, as a board member, so to refer that I am fighting you, this is what,
You have
I'm
this whole
going to
meeting. It's very
refer.
clear.
It's because I have an opinion?
No.
That
because
I'm fighting you?
So what is your
Can I
opinion on
finish?
this?
This is
what's
what
your
you do
opinion
when
on
you
the
can't
ORC?
win an argument, Ms. McTaggart. You overtalk, you disrespect, and you cause chaos, and we are going to move on.
I'm not ready to move on because I have more questions regarding this 59-page agreement that is the Board of Education and OPSI, as well as Local 405. It's a 59-page agreement, and I mean, there's a lot in here. We should have been involved the entire process. The negotiation started, from what I understand, in October. It's, it seems like, so if I have general concerns, again, this shouldn't be adversarial. This is, I don't know, it really shouldn't. Me asking questions and stating our purpose and the governance issues that are clearly here. I don't know that you're able to continue to preside over meetings because you cannot keep your cool
You need to
long
stop
enough.
with the personal attacks. We will move on. I will call you out of order, and we are moving
You'll
on.
call me
Actually,
out
I'm
of
calling
order.
you out
I'm
of
not-
order
you're
right
out of
now,
order.
and we are moving on.
You're-
Are there any
I
other
don't-
questions or comments from the board?
Yes, I have more
Thank you, Ms.
comments.
McTaggart. You have had the
I will go
floor
next.
for a long time.
No, I think you have.
So,
Way too much.
No.
Mrs. Sebastian, if I may.
Thank you.
Mr. Nucio, you said that this was we were entering into this tentative agreement right now, so they are able to get on they have the opportunity for this other health insurance plan, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I have a couple questions here. Is there a different way that we could allow them to be on this health insurance plan without passing this resolution with this tentative agreement right now? And secondly, when would we need to pass this resolution by in order for them to qualify to change into this other health benefit plan? Because I would not want to prevent them. I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
I just wanted to ask, so you were talking, I think you clarified what would happen if we didn't, right? Is that when you were talking about doing the MOU?
Correct.
Oh,
If we wait to, the contract is available for the whole board, maybe that's April, maybe it's May, I don't know, whenever. We could do an MOU at that time, opening a window, a 30-day window or 31-day window, a month window for the open enrollment for those employees, but that would take effect on the first of the month after that window. So say the contract got approved in May, we open up the window in June, then those guys could get insurance July 1st. If we don't approve it today, that's the case. If we approve it today, they could get it March 1st.
I guess I don't want to stand in the way of them being able to qualify for this health insurance plan. I don't want to stand in the way of that. However, I also don't think, I think it would be a good idea to have an executive session, especially when the previous board was notified of this, not the current board. I think it would be a good idea to have a conversation. But I guess I'm struggling right now because I don't want to stand, like I said, I don't want to stand in the way of them getting those benefits. So my question to you is there a way to not stand in the way of them getting those benefits in a timely manner, but also not approving this tentative agreement tonight?
There's not. You approve it tonight, they could get it March 1st. If it's not approved tonight, it's whenever either the TAs or the contract's approved.
What date would it have to be approved by? Does it necessarily have to be approved at this meeting tonight, or is there the possibility to hold a special meeting where we go into executive session, discuss, and then come out, adjourn to a regular meeting, and then vote?
It would have to be tonight because the open enrollment is currently in the month of February or the month of October for the OPSI unions. So if they want to change their insurance, it would be in the February open enrollment or in the October open enrollment, unless we have an MOU with the union to open a special window for open enrollment, but that can't be until after either the TA or the contract is approved.
Then we could do that. And I just want to clarify too, the previous board that was notified, minus one member, which is myself, because there was a text sent out, a group text, to all of the other board members, minus me. So I would like that on the record, please.
Could I make a motion that we adjourn to a brief recess? I would like a couple minutes to be able to do just like a quick little bit of research here and just take a moment, because I think this is going to be a very important vote that we all take. And I don't want anything to be rushed. So I'm making that motion.
I'm sorry, could you clarify what your motion is?
I would like to make a motion to adjourn to a 15-minute recess. Oh, 10-minute recess, sorry. We don't have to take the full time, do we? Okay, let me repeat myself here. I make a motion to adjourn to a 10-minute recess, which would have us reconvening at 8:40.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to recess. I forgot the timing. You said 10?
8:40.
8:40?
10
Okay,
minutes.
till 8:40. Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes.
I do ask that
I'm sorry.
no more than two board members are talking to each other at a time. Like,
Yeah,
don't go around in a circle and talk. Stay separate with your recess, because we don't want it to be considered a meeting while we're in recess.
I want to I think it was for individual board members to do their own research. I don't believe it was a discussion.
I just want to put it out
I'm
there.
glad you clarified that. Thank you. We are now in recess. We are reconvening the regular board meeting at 8:40. We left off at a discussion. Under, I believe, resolution, I know I gotta find my place. It's resolution 2026-02-113. We were at questions and comments from the board. So I would like to, does anybody else have any comments or questions? I'd like to move forward.
Yes, Ms. Sebastian.
Yes.
So I don't know if maybe I didn't, let me try to restate my previous question because I didn't really get an answer. So I don't know who this is directed to, whoever I guess can best answer it, whether it's Mr. Nucio, Dr. Hunt, or the attorney. But I would just like to understand what's in the agreement and what we're agreeing to. It's kind of a tough document to read. So my question is, what would be the appropriate environment to get that information?
Mr. Nucio, can I answer that? I think with hearing all the questions and the comments and really wanting to move forward in the best interest of the OPC employees, but the board having all the information that they need, I am going to make a motion to postpone until we can have a special meeting to have an executive session to discuss this.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to postpone Resolution 2026-02-113 until we can call a special meeting to call an executive session to discuss this. Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
No.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart.
Yes.
We have approved the motion to postpone Resolution 2026-02-113 until we can have a special meeting to call an executive session.
Right, yep. We'll
Okay.
go on to 114.
So, yeah, Ashley, or Ms. McTaggart?
Call me Ash.
No, I'd rather call you Ms. McTaggart. Thank you. I think you left off on Resolution 2026-02-114.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-114, approval of OSHAA girls basketball players' rates.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-114. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-114 has been approved.
Does another member have anything to discuss for Human Resources? Nope. I took your, Mr. Reyes. I turned it into a question instead of, unless another member has something to discuss. I like that. So this concludes Human Resources.
Thank you, Ms. McTaggart. Policies, Ms. Kerpick?
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-115, approval of the following revised policies. Policy 2431, interscholastic athletics. Policy 4162, drug and alcohol testing of CDL license holders who perform safety-sensitive functions and are subject to DOT testing. Policy 8300, continuity of organizational operations plan. Policy 8600, Transportation. Policy 8600.04, Bus and Alternative Vehicle Driver Certification. Policy 8640, Transportation for Non-Routine Trips. Policy 8650, Transportation by Alternative Vehicles.
Second.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I think Ms. McTaggart was first.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-115. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Ms. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-02-115 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-116. Approval of the following new policies. Policy 4162.01, Drug and Alcohol Testing of Employees Without CDL Licenses who transport students in alternative vehicles, non-DOT testing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-116. Are there any comments or questions from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes, Resolution 2026-02-116 has been approved.
Next up, I have 3 first readings that I'm going to go through. First reading of following revised policies. Policy 5112, Entrance Requirements. Policy 5223, Release Time for Religious Instruction During the School Day. First reading of the following revised policies. Rescind Policy 2260.03, Notice of Non-Discrimination and Complaint Procedures. Sorry, including Title II, Title V, Title VI, and Title VII, and Title 9, and Section 504. Sorry, guys, I can't read Roman numerals, and I did clearly just glazed over that when I read this the first time.
okay.
Oh my gosh, it's embarrassing. Okay, first reading of the following new policies. Policy 2431.06, Name, Image, and Likeness, NIL, in athletics. Unless another board member has anything to discuss, that will conclude policy.
Thank you, Ms. Kerpick. Are there any, is there any information that is requested at this time by board members? No. Okay, so at this point, we are going into public comments. I just, before we go into public comments, I just need to read the statement. The Parma City School District Board of Education is a decision-making body. We value community input and appreciate those who have taken the time to participate this evening. We will now move to the agenda item, public comments. Public participation is welcome, and any concern dealing with education in the Parma City School District may be addressed at this time. Public comment is intended to allow the board to listen. The board will not engage in dialogue or debate during the portion of the meeting. When recognized, speakers must state their name, address, and for the record, state their name and address for the record and direct all remarks to the board president. Each speaker will be allotted 3 minutes with a maximum of 30 minutes total for public participation. A timer will be used to ensure fairness, order, and consistency. I will indicate when your time is concluded and will provide a visual signal when 15 seconds remain, if needed. Once the 3 minutes have ended, the speaker must stop. This time limit will be enforced uniformly and without exception in accordance with Board Policy 0169.1. Requests to be heard forms were required to be submitted by completing a request to be heard form and submitting it in person to the administrative secretary. Only those who have completed this process will be permitted to speak. Individuals may not register others to speak during public comment. Administration may attempt to answer questions at the conclusion of a speaker's comments. However, in many cases, additional information may be needed to fully address a concern. Questions may be referred to the superintendent or the treasurer for further investigation or study. If information is not readily available, a district administrator or appropriate designee may follow up within 72 hours as outlined in Board Policy 0169.1. In some instances, a response may be provided at a future regular board meeting. To ensure a respectful and productive environment, comments must be directed to the board president. Speakers are asked to refrain from defamatory, obscene, abusive, derogatory, irrelevant, repetitive, or disruptive remarks, including verbal criticism or complaints against an individual employee of the school district. Personnel matters and certain student-related issues are governed by board policy and law and cannot be addressed in a public forum. The presiding officer may terminate a speaker's privilege of address if, after being called to order, the speaker persists in improper conduct or remarks. Individuals who do not adhere to these expectations may be asked to stop speaking and, if necessary, to leave the meeting. If a speaker is unable to complete their comments within the allotted time, additional information may be shared with board members via email. At this time, we will proceed with public comment. When called, please come to the microphone. Kevin Kusmal. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're not up. I didn't realize there was a number system here. Thank you. Thank you. They were not in order. Christina Edenfield, did I say that correct?
No, you're good. I just want to make
Trying to
sure.
get your timer set up.
That's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Christina Edenfield, 859 East Hillsdale, Seven Hills. From the last board meeting, just want to thank those that provided discussion and actual questions back regarding the PAGE program. I felt like there was an attempt to get some answers regarding what could be done to help save the program, as opposed to just canceling the program without board discussion. So thank you. I do think slight disappointment that there was not more discussion on it, but it sounds like there's a new advisory committee that's being formed. I do have some questions around the advisory committee. First question is, when it was first discussed in that section, it sounded like it was specific to the gifted program as a whole and not the PAGE program. Is that something you can clarify?
Dr. Cruz, is that something you would be able to clarify? I'm sorry, she's currently sneezing.
It's okay.
You caught her mid-sneeze or blow. Sorry. She was asking about the advisory committee, and so she wanted to know if that was specific, I want to be clear, to the PAGE program or the gifted program in a whole.
We're meeting specifically with PAGE parents to talk about gifted services.
Is everybody able to hear her? I just want to make sure that, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I just want to make sure everybody can. Yeah, so,
We are meeting with PAGE parents to talk about the options for gifted services for the PAGE students. Or I can just.
have your own microphone.
Hi.
Hi.
We are meeting with the PAGE parents to talk about gifted services in general for their students. So I think it's, what was your specific question? I'm sorry.
My question was, is the advisory committee specific to reviewing options for PAGE or gifted as a whole?
It's for the PAGE students to consider the options that we have in the district.
But we already did that. But just to clarify, I know we're not talking to other people. So.
Are you talking to me?
So back to, well, I know I can't address individual people. So we already had a meeting. Paige had a meeting with Dr. Hunt, and I know you were there, Ms. Sebastian. I don't know that that's what we're looking for, right? The advisory committee, it sounded like, was looking at options and ways that we can improve the program, but that sounds like we're just being told again what our options are, which we already had that meeting. So I just want to state that and just clarify what the purpose of the advisory board meeting is. So if I could get a response via email on what is the goal of the advisory board and who is on the advisory board is my next question.
Thank you. Those are great questions. So can we follow up with both of those questions? I would just want to make sure. So you have, you want to know who's going to be part of that and what are the goals of the advisory committee?
Those are the first two questions. I have another one. What is the time frame for either voting on the changes to what the advisory board recommends? Just so I have an idea, because, kids are going to be going through, enrollment in their new schools, and I want to have an idea of when, where my child will be at.
I understand. So the board will not be voting. It was never supposed to be something that it was never voted on. So therefore, we would not be, so I just want to be clear, this is not something that's going to come back to us and be voted on. We are putting this where it belongs within the administration. And that's why we're happy that there's an advisory committee that's going to be working with the families. We are asking for updates to that, but we will not be voting. I just want to be totally transparent.
Okay. Also, just like to express disappointment that I was told 72 hours for getting responses to my questions. I had one question about fundraising, and I got a response today from the treasurer, email without a hello or a signature of who it was, 2 hours before this meeting. So that was almost 2 weeks response time, which I feel is inadequate. I didn't get my answer from them, so.
I apologize for that. I will hope that we do better, and I will ask that we can do better in the future, as I think the rest of the board would. So I apologize.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the end of my questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Martin Stanzik.
This meeting reminded me of when I was married. My goodness. Little humor there, everybody. My name is Martin Stancic.
So good.
500 Lawrence Drive. And a couple questions here. I've been talking about having cuts since last August, and I'm glad that there's the process for this now. But back before the levy, you guys sent out a thing that said that there were going to be cuts right after the levy if the levy went down. Now, I sent Dr. Hunt a couple messages to find out more about that, and then I carbon copied you guys early February, and I never heard anything. So I'd sure like to hear more about it, and are they going to be pure cuts, or will they be cuts and rehiring? Because there's all kinds of games that can be played in terms of cuts, just like with the PAGE program. They closed it down, but I understand that they rolled the employees over to working for the Parma school, so they weren't really cut out, they were just change of jobs. Second thing, I hear transparency all the time. I would like to have the board tell us what your views are on what the definition is on transparency for our future use. Thirdly, I want to congratulate the board on Ms. Sebastian being president, Ms. Kripik being vice president, Dr. Leah, your change, and you get a free trip to Hawaii for a month with the kids. Okay, paid for by the board. But one thing, too, that came out with you, Ms. Kripik, are emails allowed to be sent by the
Mr. Stanzik,
superintendent?
could you please direct your questions to
I was
me
referring to
and not,
Okay,
it's just a rule that we ask
Yes,
everybody
you're
to
right.
abide by. And so,
Your neighbor there read an email that was back in June of last year that did not go to all members of the board. And I was kind of concerned about that. Can the superintendent pick and choose who they send the messages to, or do they have to send it to everybody?
just for clarification, Mr. Stanzik, that is a superintendent who is no longer in the district. I believe she was reading the text from, so we are unable to answer that.
Or what will be the future? What will be that from now on?
That is something that goes to the entire board.
And the entire board? That's what I
Yeah.
need. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And congratulations, you three.
Thank you, Mr. Stanzik. James DeSantis.
James DeSantis, 2233 Judy Drive, Parma. Admittedly, I'm a little confused after one of the previous speakers. After hearing some things tonight, it sounded like the board had potentially acknowledged the fact that a superintendent does not have the authority to unilaterally close a school program. The bylaws don't give that authority, and the Ohio Revised Code certainly doesn't. It reserves that right to the school board. So absent the board authorizing that, that was not an effective policy. It also sounded like the board may have been acknowledging the fact that the motion on February 12th to continue the PAGE program for 26-27 was passed by a majority of the members present and voting pursuant to Bylaw Code 0167. 3 members were present and voting. 2 of the members voted yes. That motion passed. So it sounds like, however, the board's response and attempt to execute that resolution is this advisory committee, which, again, now sounds like the purpose of that is to present alternatives to PAGE, when in fact, the resolution that was passed was not to keep gifted services going next year. It was not to continue gifted services or provide an alternative to PAGE. The past resolution was to keep PAGE open for the 26-27 school year. So I am a little confused at some of the discussion that I've heard. And as someone else pointed out, registration is coming up, and parents need to know. The board cannot just sit back and sit idle on this matter. Either you close it, and if that's what you want to do, the board votes on that. Vote to close the program, or vote to keep it open, but parents need to know. Parents deserve to know, and anything less is unacceptable and a disservice to the community. So I would implore the board to act appropriately. Whatever your decision may be, the board must act. And again, the board did act on February 12th by approving to keep PAGE open for the 26-27 school year. So I would again ask you to reflect on that and please give parents some answers. Thank you.
Thank you. Brenda Mitchell.
Hello, everybody. Brenda Mitchell, 5004 Torrington in Parma. I do just have to resonate what the other parents have said about the vote on the 12th. I have had to write and rewrite everything that I'm going to say so many times today, and especially even during the meeting, because so many things happened that it was like bananas. Okay, so I will read what I wrote. This Board of Education has a lot of work ahead of it. You all ran on a platform highlighting the need for more transparency in our school district, more accessibility to the public. Yet there is so much infighting, immaturity, and frankly, a complete lack of understanding as to what your roles and jobs are. We have been disappointed again and again by board members who claim they are here to serve their community and better the lives of the students in this district, and yet when concerned parents from a thriving school program come to you for help, you have done nothing. We now know that the emotional speeches from our students won't work with you, because you sat there, you watched these students express themselves with eloquence, begging for you to hear them out and for you to choose to abstain from a vote to bring their school program back. Then you left the room as soon as you could while our children sobbed. Emotional speeches won't work, but the facts need to be spoken. How does the board intend to overcome the perceptions and concerns of the public? One person's decision to stop the live streams of the board meetings has made you all lose credibility with the public. The decision was done without prior board approval, and to be quite frank, it is a blatant disrespect to the rest of the board members. You are supposed to act as one, and that wasn't done. Why was it that parents needed to ask for everything that has been done for the gifted students that are impacted by the decision to close Page? Anything beyond the email has been fought for by the parents. A meeting with the parents, an understanding of the reasons and decisions and the decision making, now the advisory committee, in a district that is fighting to earn the trust of its community, what is going to be done to harbor that? These meetings are showing a clear disconnect with that mission. The word transparency is being thrown around, but actions are not being taken. We all tell our kids that actions speak louder than words. As a board, as administration, what can this community expect when the only answers we get are fought so hard for? I was kind of making a joke earlier. You guys say transparency so much. Saying the word transparency doesn't mean anything. It's kind of like when Michael Scott yelled bankruptcy. I declare bankruptcy. Like, that's not how that works. You are an example to all of us, and you need to show that to us. We've been disappointed time and time again, and we will keep coming back. Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin Kusmal.
Thank you, Madam President. Kevin Kuzmal, 3160 Hetzel Drive, Parma, Ohio, former Board of Education member and councilman for Ward 6. First, I would like to thank you, Madam President, Board Member Reyes, for coming to the State of the City's address last night. And this is my first time addressing the board this year, so congratulations to newly elected board members. And to Madam President, we've known each other a long time. 9 years ago, I served on this body, and you were the first resident that I met in the parking lot at Parma Senior High, and you were very passionate about individuals with special needs, and that is a passion I have with my sister as well, and we both share that. 2 weeks ago, I came to the board meeting, and I was surprised that a practice for the live streaming had ended. That practice predates my time 9 years ago on this body, and back to when I was in school here. And I was shocked by that, and I strongly asked the board to reconsider that practice. For the transparency that I think is pretty evident that is needed in this district to move forward for all of us, I would ask that you'd strongly consider it. I know the district has very, very capable staff who can do that, who are here tonight, because I know we've employed their help at the city. So I would strongly, for transparency's sake for this body and for the district going forward, strongly consider, again, streaming and recording the meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kusma. I'd like to make a brief comment. Ms. Kerpick, and I can't remember because it was over 2 hours ago. Live streaming was discussed in communications, in the communications committee, is that correct? Was that something that we had on the minutes about reviewing live streaming? I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
No, that's okay. I don't know that it was, I don't know, is my answer here. But I will say that we can talk about that. I mean, now that we're going to be moving into the auditorium, if we're going to be moving into the auditorium, if we move into the auditorium, we can definitely revisit that and bring it out of the communications committee.
And I just want to be clear again, this has been mentioned many times, that is also, I would speak to where there is a lot of misinformation on what the board's roles are and what the administration's roles are. It was clearly stated that this was, I will not sit here and allow one board member to take the responsibility of doing that. It was an operational decision, and we can discuss that in committee. Sometimes in decisions, there are, Dr. Cruz, unintended consequences. There were decisions that I believe that were shared why that had to occur, but I think as a board, we are willing to look at those things, just as we have, whether or not people want to believe that that's actually occurred, as we have all these other concerns that have come up. So we are more than willing to look at that.
Mrs. Sebastian, the conversation we had surrounded if it would be a possibility to live stream from the auditorium, and the answer to that was yes. So if there was ever a consideration to go back to it, that yes, the capabilities are there.
Thank you. I move to adopt. Sorry. I just want to make sure we're on the right page. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there any new business before the board? No? Okay.
Ms. Sebastian, if I may. Sorry, it takes me a little time. It's been a long night. Am I good?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Thanks, appreciate it. So this is, correct me if I'm wrong, where we can bring up non-agenda items, is that correct?
New business
Okay.
on non-agenda items.
Okay. So I'd like to talk about the live streaming right now, since we're all here. I know that you mentioned that it would go through committee, but I'm curious if it went through committee the first time or not.
I clarified it was an operational decision. The reason why we are talking about discussing it in committee is because that was part of communications. So, I mean, we don't have to do that. I want to focus, I hear you, but I want to focus on the goals. And I think we're moving forward to saying, yes, we want to have those discussions. So are you asking to have it here in new business?
Correct.
Okay, so that is something that I mean, we can sit and discuss, but it's not something that we're voting on. So I want to be clear, it's an operational decision.
It is not an operational decision. The way that the public accesses meetings is a board decision. And I do think that it's very important that we clarify our roles.
Do you have that policy that you're referring to?
It's the
And
open meetings, so 121.22.
That's a general ORC code that you
The way
keep
that-
using.
yeah,
That is
listen,
not clearly defining live streaming. Once again,
Public access to meetings and how they access meetings is a board decision. So they were accessing meetings through live streaming. One board member made the decision to stop
not
live
accurate.
streaming. It's not an operational decision. What do we decide? Because it seems like nothing is a board decision. I mean, it's not, we have to be involved. This is why we're elected. It's very important, and the public clearly wants live streaming. Transparency. That's how we're transparent. Trust through transparency. Keep the live streaming. Don't make that decision behind closed doors.
I'm going to keep calling out the inaccuracies. They were not, nothing was discussed behind closed doors. And what we actually said tonight was anybody can attend those committee meetings. They are for the public to attend if they would like to.
If they
We
can
all
find
see-
them.
Ms. McTaggart, I don't know how many times we have to review the same thing. We already acknowledged that that is something that we are going to discuss. I just feel like we get past the goal of what and it becomes more of like focusing on what you want to say, but not the goal. If the goal is to move forward and have these discussions about live streaming, that's what we're saying we're doing.
Yes, but you're spreading misinformation because you're
No,
saying
I'm not.
public access and how the public accesses
I'm going-
meetings is a board decision.
I
It is not
disagree.
operational. You can't disagree. It's in
disagree. Yes,
black
I
and
can
white.
disagree. I
It's
very
in
much
black
can.
and white.
No, it's
and
not.
that's unfortunate. You're unable to, and you can't just interpret the ORC any way that you want.
And neither can you.
You're absolutely right.
That's absolutely
It's in
right.
black and
So,
white.
do you have anything else to say after Mr. Reyes spoke? Do you have something to say about the live streaming as well?
Yes, we should be able to have discussion again, we should be discussing live streaming. We can discuss it right now. So it's okay, so everyone can voice their opinion on if we should have live streaming or not. I mean, that's what the public wants, and we're here having public meetings, so we should be able to allow them to access it in a way that best suits them.
Do you yield the floor?
I do, thank you.
Okay. I would like to say that I did comment, and and Ms. Kerpick also commented on, so you are going to do the eye rolling again and the body language that you ask others not to do. These are the board norms that you agreed on, Ms. McTaggart. These are the board
Listen,
norms.
This has been,
There you go again.
over and over.
You're
you
out
have
of order.
lectured me.
You're out of
you
order.
You are out of order,
No,
ma'am.
you can't call me
Stop
out of order.
lecturing me.
I am not
You
lecturing
have done
you.
nothing but lecture me this
has
whole
to
meeting.
stop. I'm
You
moving
have to
on.
stop.
I'm
You are
moving on.
unfit to be president of this board.
I am unfit to be president
Yes,
of the
ma'am, you
board.
are. You
Okay.
can't interpret ORC, and you've done
Those
nothing.
are personal attacks.
That's not
Those
a
are
personal
yes,
attack.
it is. You just called me unfit.
Yes, and I stand by
yes,
that.
I'm moving on.
I
am moving
believe
on.
that.
This shows so much respect. This is the respect, ladies and gentlemen, that Ms. McTaggart asked for, to talk over
Performative
you and to
spaces.
cause chaos. This is out of order, and we are going to move on. We have already said that we are moving on. This is going to be a discussion in committee. This is a discussion. I've already said that we would like to move forward, that there was unintended consequences, and that we were going to discuss those. But you are, your words, bullying your way into having what you want, and you want that discussion now. We had that discussion. But we are not going to vote on that because that is not a board decision.
It is a board decision.
It is not. So we're moving on.
Ms. Sebastian, I did have a question, or I'm sorry, I wanted to have a discussion about the live streaming.
Okay, so so new business for non-agenda items is there to move it to another agenda, because for transparency, for all your board members, they don't have time to have information. The people in the audience tonight do not have the information. They did not know that live streaming was going to be brought up by board members.
It's merely a
So-
discussion.
It is, and we've had it. So are you guys proposing something to be on the next agenda? That's what new business is for.
Opportunity for the board to bring up non-agenda items.
Right, for a
Yeah.
purpose.
I just brought up a non-agenda item.
And I'm asking what you want to do with it.
I'd like to discuss live streaming as a board.
We
We're all
have.
here.
Would you have any comments about live streaming?
My comments about live streaming I provided at the last meeting, so I will yield the floor.
Do you have any more comments?
I do not have anything additionally to add. Thank you.
So we've had the discussion.
Thank you, Ms. Sebastian.
So we are,
Appreciate it.
you're welcome. So we are moving forward. If you are talking out of turn, you will be removed. That was clear. So if you are talking out of turn, you can leave.
Mrs. Sebastian?
Yes.
If I may. I don't know if this is the appropriate place to bring this up, so, Dr. Hunt or Mrs. Sebastian, please stop me. But I believe this is where I would bring something up if I wanted to have a conversation on it at the next meeting, correct?
That's exactly what I said,
So,
yes.
okay, thank you. I'm just
Yep.
clarifying
No, I
before I
I'm
start.
telling you. Yep.
I would like to, at our next meeting, have a conversation about changing the meeting times. We started our meeting at 5 o'clock. I understand that we had a work session prior to this, but it is now 9:18, and we still have an executive session after this. I'm going to be a little personal, but I'm a single mother to a 4-year-old, so having a meeting that is in no way going to end prior to 10 o'clock tonight is not something that I can feasibly maintain. I know there's other people here who have children and, who have lives outside of this. So at the next meeting, I am going to ask that we have a conversation about adjusting the meeting time. That's all.
Thank you. So can we add live streaming and changing meeting times for a discussion on the next agenda?
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
I think that it would be helpful to have executive sessions on a separate date than meetings. So just,
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-117 to adjourn to executive session.
Ms. Sebastian?
Yes, I'm, thank you. But I wasn't finished yet, I'm sorry. I have to read the reasons. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-117 to adjourn to executive session relative to personnel matters, discipline, and investigation of charges and/or complaints.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-117. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
Ms. Sebastian? I did have one item to add to the previous new business.
Mr. Reyes, we've moved past that. We
I tried to
cannot
ask
go
for the floor, and
back.
I believe Ms. Kirkpick also heard me.
We cannot go back.
you cut him off.
We cannot
and
go
didn't allow
back.
him.
We cannot go back. Do you have, we already had the motion and the second. Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Parma City School District hereby adjourns to executive session at
9:21.
9:21 PM relative to personnel matters, discipline, and investigation of charges and/or complaints. We are now in executive session.